Like, it wasn't the babies.
No, it wasn't the babies.
Yeah,
Sorry.
thank goodness.
Welcome back to the Wileyverse. Well, I am way off camera there. Woo, hi. Because someone was messing with the microphone.
Sorry.
Speaking of the rhino in the room, we've got a new microphone. And I have no idea if it's working.
We got it from baddragon.com.
It's spiking pretty heavy. I did listen in on it.
It says that it's muted.
Very ominous red eye looking at us.
How about now?
Yeah.
It's going.
Can you hear me now?
I mean, the little thing is registering input.
Should we do a quick test where you stop and replay?
Oh, bring it up.
Yeah.
See if we're playing. Do. You're messing with the mic. Anyway, it is super. It's way more sensitive than the one we had. It is a studio mic. So how does this, folks? Just put in. No, do not do that.
Put in the chat. How does this sound?
It has omnidirectional, so it is getting every angle, and if you start tilting it, that's when it starts to get weirdness.
No, you did Twitch.com. Oh, there, YouTube.
So, all right.
1 second while we troubleshoot.
It'd be pretty clever of us if we handle this sort of thing in 10 minutes before airtime.
So,
instead of
it's working! Yay! Welcome back to the Wileyverse. We're here to play some D&D. Just some good old plain vanilla Sword Coast Forgotten Realms D&D. With me, as always, is Robert at the end, playing Grace of Candlekeep. Big, lovable, lunk-headed sage.
Yeah, like that. Go with that.
Who really wants to be a hero, like they tell in the storybooks. We have Mitch playing Isarok the Guide, a.k.a. the High Elven Thief, who is tagged along with these suckers to rube them out of all of their money. Bing. Take your money. And Dayton playing Dorbin Callis. Dorbin Callis is a sorcerer who was kicked out of, sent on a quest, an errand from Candlekeep after it was discovered he was a wild sorcerer. I am playing the NPC, Nori, who is a half-orc priestess of the Red Knight, who has fallen in with this group. Also looking for knowledge in the garage. Knowledge. And I'm also the GM sometimes.
Sometimes.
This thing is beautiful.
I know, it's really nice. It's
not as often as we would like, but
it is spiking really high.
It's probably Robert's fault. I'm going to turn the volume down.
No, that volume is like you can put in a headset and listen to it. So you can listen to your own feed to see if it's going right, and I did. It's amazing.
It looks like freaking Tom Servo from Mystery Science Theater.
I would have to actually go in and mess with the gain and stuff. We have it down. We have the whole thing toned down, but we're like our feed is going beyond, so it is being capped. But we won't know really until we listen to it later, or someone comes in and tells us too loud, too whatever. So fun stuff.
Well, all right. Thank you, everybody.
You guys have just left Daggerford after you have discovered that you've been cursed because of sticky fingers and grabbing death god icons, dead death god icons.
It was the stickiness of noble intent.
Yes. It would have been a lot of money if you could have got away with it scot-free. But if it weren't for them damn Velcheroons...
So
it was the first real big score I'd seen so far. I'm like, finally, I can quit lading these guys around.
Right. On the way to Waterdeep, where they are going to go try to speak to a lore master at the Great Library, they came across a merchant who was in trouble. His cargo has been stolen by some weird gray-skinned goblins, and he offered the group money to go return his cargo because it is needed for a festival in Waterdeep or something like that. You guys went off and got ambushed. Well, you actually counter-ambushed at the forest line where they were waiting for you, and you discovered 2 things. 1, they are gray-skinned goblins. They're really weird. And 2, your curse is...
that everything we kill comes back to life.
Correct. So anything you kill will
way.
come back to us as a zombie, and you have to kill it all over again. Fun stuff.
That is...
What is it? Nothing we kill will lie still.
All whom they kill shall not be still, till my sockets are filled. They only see with the most precious blood. So that is the geisha, the quest. That's the fulfillment of this curse to get this thing off of you. Is that you need to put some big ass rubies in this skull's eyes.
Did this specify rubies? Because we have things we can stick in these eye sockets.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. But after killing all of the Greykin, you recalled very specifically a story about these things. That they are deep goblins that serve the drow. And that in this area of Waterdeep, outside of Waterdeep...
Drow slaves, that's right.
Yeah, right.
From the Desdric Chasm.
Desdric Chasm. Somewhere in this vicinity, there are stories about the Desdric Chasm, which is a passage to the Underdark that the Drow used to raid Waterdeep.
His mama's so loose, she's a Desdric Chasm.
And that's what you remember. You recall very specifically this story and the heroes that sealed the chasm. It was shut. It was closed. Yeah,
that's making the joke even better.
Was that an in-character, side joke?
It wasn't in character.
Well, it's not in character. He's not a bard. It's not clever stories.
Where are we at? You have used one spell. One first level spell.
Your mage armor is still on.
Oh, two first level spells.
I have used 2 of my 4 superiority dice.
I got my arrows back.
I used my action surge.
You use your action surge. Yeah. And Nori has used 1 of her bolts of inspiration for War Domain.
We've been using these chips, so I don't know if we've used inspiration or not.
Let's just say
you
that
did use inspiration.
Well, normally in regular D&D, you don't have inspiration until you are given it.
Okay.
So you don't start a session with it.
Oh, you insert action search. You just said that.
Action search. Yeah, but because of the circumstances going into this, your memory of the stuff and the curse finally coming through and you seeing that, everyone is starting the session with inspiration.
So as a new guy, inspiration
is an automatic advantage on any roll of your choice. So you and I am a lenient GM, and I let you retro advantage. So advantage is you roll 2d20, take the highest.
Gotcha. Okay.
In this case, you can essentially use your inspiration as a reroll.
Gotcha.
But you take the lower.
Gotcha.
Or sorry, the higher.
Gotcha.
Of the
cool.
Two.
All right.
All right. You're at the forest line. It's the sky is darkening. It's only got a little bit of red in the horizon left. There's an ominous forest ahead of you, and where these Greykin went, and how to follow them. So,
right, yeah. Well, my fellows, let me regale you the tale of these Greyblins, and they're enslaved into the drow, and I start to go on a story about this and history and stuff like that, but I stop myself and say that the important thing is that if they're here, that means that, well, they shouldn't be here, because the only way they can get through here is in this area, but that should have been sealed to the Underdark. And, well, that's bad news bears, folks.
I kind of vaguely listened to that, but can I use my investigation to track where things went?
It's actually survival.
Oh, survival.
But I'm going to let you use investigation. Since we don't have a wilderness tracker here, you're looking for other clues to see where they went.
Not survival, it's investigation. Either way. It's awesome.
Is it the same either way?
No, it's awesome either way. So.
Oh, it's awesome either way. Okay.
Yeah. So if it's investigation, then I rolled a 23.
Right. Yeah, you see they dragged something heavy. So whatever they took, they didn't take the cart, obviously. The cart's still back there. So they dragged these big things amongst themselves. So it's like the line in the dirt is pointing right where they went.
Follows a path.
Clearly.
I mean, you can see where it's been etched in by the heavy stuff.
Oh, obviously. Isra.
Yeah.
Did we actually? I'm sorry, I got lost in the story. Did we actually check the overturned cart and all that for the supplies we're supposed to look for?
What overturned cart?
The overturned cart was in the road. The guy that had the overturned cart lost his cargo.
And it wasn't overturned. It was just broken and
No,
stolen.
all
from.
we found was an ambush waiting for people coming to look.
Okay,
for the
okay.
cargo, yeah, so.
Yeah, the cart was back on the road with the merchant empty and damaged.
Oh, and the cargo had been taken. Okay.
Yeah.
Dorbin, you go first.
So if we're going the way we were before, you are actually in the lead. So, because you guys knew the ambush was happening last time, so you and Nori were in the lead, but this time you're...
Oh, I remember that fight. That was a really cool fight. It was very spread out. It was.
And you did some great counter ambush.
Some pinching and some separating and stuff. I got hurt the most.
Yeah, how is everybody, by the way?
I'm fairly hurt, but nothing crazy yet.
If you want, you can use healing on you now.
How much magic does she have left?
So she can cast... She can cast 4 spells a day. And so she can... 4 spells of first level and 2 spells of second level. So if you're asking for healing now, it'll be one of her 4.
I'm at 12 of 20, and I'm just getting started, so everything we kill is going to come back, so...
I would argue also, like, we have... we were waiting for an ambush, so, like, time is not really it doesn't seem to be... At least it doesn't seem to be an essence thing here. We could just, like, chill out. Oh?
Remember, you have to get this cargo back... to the guy.
He's waiting on the
He's waiting on the road.
He has a deadline. That's what we're trying
and
to do.
It's about to turn night. So, like, if it's not there by day, he's just going to have to
context.
go.
Yeah, give it to me.
Yeah, we said that specifically last time. You cannot short rest during this.
Okay.
You have to find that
I remember
cargo.
that.
Like Nori's exactly can do about this.
Was that only a week ago?
That was only a week ago.
Wow.
All right. She will cast Cure Light Wounds, and she recovers 8 of your hit points.
Perfect. That is perfect. I was like, knowing my luck, you're like, recovers 3. I'm like, damn it. All right, cool.
It happens.
I feel amazing.
Dorban, if you have any,
I give her the
any
Easter
insights on this?
It's very bad.
She's like, if you're doing that to other people, you should stop.
Just rolled a 2 for the Isarok Eye.
You've never successfully given
it's never been
a
higher
person
than a
of the
5.
opposite sex the Isarok Eye.
I've done it 3 times. It's never been higher than a 5.
Well, you found us a path. I don't know what the problem is.
Yeah, but I was trying to be like cute with her, and I'm like, hi.
Oh, yeah. You know, I've tried that the same way.
Genetics, I guess.
So, into the forest you go. Just speed, stealth, like what?
Well, we know,
cautious. Like, how are you proceeding through here?
Well, I'm leading, so I'd like to be cautious. You know, we've been ambushed once before. We boarded it, but I know we're looking for little gray goblin things, and also that anything that we can avoid fighting, I'd like to, because everything we fight, we have to fight twice.
Yes.
So I would like to approach cautiously, not stealthily, because I don't want to slow us down, but carefully.
One thing you are noticing as it's getting darker, and the bodies of these gray goblins is even dead. They start to have this weird melding into the shadows, where it's hard to see them when they're in shadows.
Even with my night vision, it's
so they are naturally camouflaged in darkness type of things. So you know to keep an eye on that. So you're going first. I'm going to have you make a stealth check. Everyone else, you can tell them to stop or go, so they don't need to make one.
Natural 1.
Oh, okay. So you're stomping through the brush. And make me a notice check.
Motherfucker. That's way better. Notices investigation?
No, perception.
Perception, okay. So, 22.
22?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'm like, I see everything.
Yeah. You're just not like, you're a high elf, but you're just not used to the wilderness, and like, so, and it's, you know, you're in that magic hour where your dark vision is having a hard time kicking over. So you're not being as stealthy as you think. You're crashing into some stuff, and you're like, I'm a city elf. I'm out here.
Or I'm being sneaky, but I keep being like, ow.
Yeah. And you're up ahead, and you're keeping an eye on the track, and you're not seeing any of the critters. You're going through this forest, and this swath of the forest opens up a bit. into... You don't know what the stretch of land is, but it's much more sparsely forested. It seems like there's a ridge that's starting off onto your right, and it goes up. It's not huge. It doesn't impossible. Like if you started walking up it, it would just be like walking on level ground, and it would give you a vantage point. But the trail goes forward next to the ridge.
I'll kind of jog up to the top and see if I can get a better look since I'm not seeing anything.
It just keeps going. Like this is just happening now.
I'll go about...
the Earth is separating a little bit here. Not that it's a huge ravine or anything. It's 20 foot.
It's a hill coming out of the forest.
Yeah, it goes on though. Like so, it's a ridge line that is going to keep going for a bit, and it's only about a 20-foot span, and it's not even sheer. So.
We'll go up about 50 yards and turn around and see if I can't see anything I can find back.
You can keep your eye on the trail from up there.
Okay.
You can actually see it really well, and you can see out into the area. There's a line of trees behind you, covering you. This seems like a really good spot to try to keep following.
All right. So why don't I jog back down and tell them to continue along the path, and I'll keep a lookout from up above.
Okay.
What do you guys think of that?
Sounds fine to me. How about you,
You're
Dolan?
doing that thing you love to do.
What is that?
Splitting the party. Where they really can't get up to you, but you can try to fall down to them. I mean, you could all go up on the ridge line.
It's true, we could do that if you want. Or I found a good easy vantage up here that's easier, smoother walking.
Well, what is it? East Rock? Do we split or do we...
Come with me. Let me guide you.
All right.
So I drag the party reluctantly.
Up the ridge.
Yeah.
So you're heading down this ridge. You're watching the ridge line. You, up ahead, see there's a little outcropping of trees. Everyone make me notices.
Oh, boy.
This is perception again?
Perception. Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
I'm still in Rift mode.
I'm still just making sure that I know what we're talking about.
Oh,
Perception.
God, magic shield, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Vigilant shield.
Hey,
I'll take the perception.
Yep.
I'll take the 19.
Okay. And
that's good. It's way better than me.
I'll take the 17.
so the 17 and the 19, what'd you get?
9.
Yeah, she didn't get anything good either. You two both notice in this little outcropping of trees, as you're up on this ridge line, you're looking down to make sure you're still on the path of the trail of the dragging marks. And you look out and you see this outcropping of trees, and there's these two weird smudges of shadow in them. And you're thinking that you're looking at some greyblins, some greykin that are down there like scouts or watchmen trying to watch for anybody that's chasing them.
What ho?
What ho?
Inappropriate.
Inappropriate. Nori, inappropriate.
Gotta keep that orc sling to a. Well.
What if I took some of my ball bearings and tied them to an arrow and shot it past them a little ways, like beyond where we were, so that when it hits, it breaks open and makes a noise off in the distance to kind of distract them.
That sounds brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, you take a little strip of cloth or a bandage and wrap some ball bearings up into it and tie it around the shaft of an arrow.
Should we? What's the plan with it though? Are we going to
Just
walk
by?
Just distract them, and we'll just continue on.
Continue on? I was going to say, should we see what they left behind?
Well, they just like scouts. The cargo we're looking for is not there.
Well,
Like I said, I want
the cargo.
The drag marks that are continuing to go.
Oh,
They're
just
just
the kind of trail.
marks.
We're still,
Yeah.
Okay,
We're still finding the trail.
Yep.
Okay.
These guys are just waiting in ambush again. But everything we fight, we have to fight twice. So if we can skip a fight, why not skip a fight?
Sure. We're wearing these ball bearings.
And he has them.
Oh, you have them. Oh, what a great guy you are.
I drop on the floor.
Oh, they started like skittering down the hillside.
All right. It doesn't really take a roll or anything. You tie it up and. So, you throw it out there, it hits a tree or a rock somewhere out in the field, and you hear as the thing clatters and that, and all of a sudden you see like there's a moment or two of nothing. Like you see the kind of the smudges disappear as they probably went to the other side of the trees, and then you see two smudges just kind of going across the open land towards the rock that you hit. So if you want, you guys can just go on. No stealth checks needed. They are out of earshot now.
I would.
Let's go.
Especially the people in chainmail and scale, like.
I hate hiking in armor.
We're not hiking anymore. We're on a hill. So here's the tree line, and it comes up gradually about that high.
Yeah.
We're just right here walking. We're more or less level. It's just this much of an incline. So we're not jogging anymore. We're not
That's
doing
very easy to say if someone's not wearing a suit of metal.
I am very lightly clocked. That's true. I'm trying to give you some inspiration.
Oh, I feel great about it. Thank you. It's like you bard.
So off you go, continue down the ridge line, which the ridge line and the tracks turn, and then it starts to have a little bit more of a separation. So the ground, the earth is going down, and the ridgeline's kind of staying there, and another ridgeline is occurring on the other side. So you're starting to seem like to go into a ravine, or the path is going to ravine. You're up on the ledge, on the edge of it.
Let's maintain the high ground as we continue.
Eventually you go in there, and it starts to get pretty woody down there. There's some trees and stuff like that, and you're wondering, like you can still see the path of the drag through the woods, but it's starting to be like, they're getting a lot of cover down there. We don't know how many greykin can even be there. But that's when you've just pushed a little bit further, and you're starting to have second thoughts about maybe we should go down there now and follow it. When you see it kind of opens up a bit and gets a little bit more rocky, so that no trees are growing. And that's where there's this cart. There's a track, like laid down of like, it's just wood slats and metal bars, and they put this cart, looks like a mining cart, but bigger, wider, like less open, like think of a truck bed or something like that, but on a mining cart.
A lorry.
Right, and it's on a mining cart track, and there's these grablins, and these, I keep calling them grablins now because you did that, the greykin, and these two large, hairy creatures, and they are large, they are not man-sized, they are like ogre-sized. And they're just furry, like slope dumb heads, kind of a bluish fur, like a bluish gray fur. And they're grabbing these things and putting them onto the cart, and there's greykin moving around the cart doing something else. So I'm gonna need stealths. You guys are all gaining advantage on the stealths because you're so far away and up on the high ground. Advantage 2d20.
Advantage.
God, much better. Yeah, that's way better than this natural one.
Okay, I'll take a 15. Nice. We are quite a bunch.
All right.
Let me get some water. I'm surveying. I'm going to check out over this side of the ravine, guys.
No, you're not.
24.
No, you're not.
You have to get that little right back thing for this one.
Little what?
The right back logo for this one.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The logo.
Oh, we'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Message, yeah.
What did I say? Logo. It's fine. I feel like Robert fails all of his real life stealth checks. Well, for stealth, 3.
Yes, what are these big blue, gray, furry things?
That is a good question to have.
I mean, obviously I'm not asking you, but
I don't know, I've never seen anything like this. I'm a city elf. I mean, a city guide.
we have clearly like seen these things, though, right?
You can clearly see these things.
Yeah, we are seeing them. So the question is, have we Robert right about that?
I just rolled a 2. My voice is so deep and delicious. Crap. There you go.
Elixir of life.
These are one of the stunt mugs for Thirsties.
Is that right? I have one of these at my home.
They had a contest where you had to, whoever could hold out the longest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had like
oh,
a little
man. It's like a sweet contest. Bendy. Find the Gerblins. The Grablins. I'm sorry. No, not the Grablins, but the... Grekin.
Great.
Greykin.
So these are the things that are next to the...
What's with that hunch? Is it like made of rock? What have we encountered so
Their
far?
fur.
It's fur.
Alright, so... what you are seeing as you move up, you take some cover, and you're looking down at what's going on. So there is a platform, a cart, there's some tracks laid. There's these two big things grabbing stuff that looks like where the drag marks end. There's about a dozen Greykin here. So a dozen Greykin plus the two big guys. And they're putting all the stuff up onto the cart. And the Greykin are moving around and doing stuff. So you're having a hard time because it is now dark.
Oh no.
But you guys can see that there's these big pots. They're about like this big, about this big around, and they've got some. They almost look like a drum, or just like a. It's not like a cork or it's not any type of other seal, but it just looks like there's something over it, like paper or leather or parchment or something. Then there's these boxes, just wooden crates, and it looks like they have a honeycomb on the top, or they have a bunch of like scroll cases tucked into them.
Ooh.
About this big. So this track goes forward, and so I told you it was getting kind of rocky and a little bit steeper down there. Mm-hmm. The track goes down into what looks to be a large chasm. So there's a chasm there. When you look over, it looks like it's got a bunch of rocks and stuff down in it. And the track goes right into that chasm. The Greykin seem to be tying rope around everything. And they'll take the rope. It almost looks like they're securing everything down, but it's like they're putting rope into the boxes or into little, you can't really tell, somewhere around the pots or underneath the pots. And they're just moving it all around and then bundling the rope up, and it's coming out the back.
Mm.
Shoot a fire arrow right into the drums.
And you can shoot a fire bolt right down into it if you want.
I don't know if we want to preserve the cargo. We don't want to destroy everything.
Is the
You also, I don't know. You have a couple of sages, so make me some intelligence checks.
Okay.
Just
I
right
love playing characters that are smarter than me. Oh wait,
I don't
hold
know.
on.
You don't have advantage on
I
that.
don't have that. You said a couple, so I thought, just a couple D20, see what happens. I'm just like, guys, I'm pretty sure this is a chasm. And
The desert chasm.
yeah, I'm still going on that.
Nope.
These are the
I'm
smartest.
like
Yeah,
thinking
nope.
about drow and stuff. Don't really.
These are the smartest sages I've ever met. Because I've never met any other sages.
Ooh.
I say as I break my pencil.
Yeah, way to go.
Yeah.
Good job.
All right, so it looks like they're getting pretty close to completion of their task of getting all this cargo
These
put
are
into
the
this
ones
cart.
that are up on the bridge still, not down in the.
You are up on the ridge.
Yeah, we are up there. We see these ones that are also
No,
kind of...
they are down in the chasm.
They're
down in the ravine, which has this track that goes into a chasm.
Ah. Wow. How's the canopy over there still? Is it
There's nothing, because it all turns to rock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, great. Let's just slide on down. Charge foe. Hey. Hey.
There's a dozen Greykin and 2 monsters, and everything we kill is going to come back. And we have to kill it again. It's going to be hard.
I mean, it's not a bad point.
I'm not saying there's necessarily a stealthy way to do this, but there might be a better way than a head-on battle.
Well, I know. I thought too. I mean, we could probably sneak into the chasm, but like, what are they doing there? It can't be good for the nearby settlements.
That's true.
These things are drows. These things are drowkin. They're who knows what they're here? They might be on. They might be on here on orders of the drow, the really, really bad elves. If you know drow one.
Yeah,
So
he knows a drow.
When you say
He is a high elf. They are really bad.
right, so when they say chasm, it's not going into like a cave structure. There's no roof to it. It's going deeper into like a ravine.
It is a cave in the sense that, but it's a ground cave. So imagine those people that do the I jump into a big hole in the ground, like the cave jumping, but it's a straight down.
So
that's what it looks like. But it also looks like you can't see down into it. It looks like it's like there's a fall off.
Yeah.
So the ravine goes up. It starts to turn into gravel, into more rocky area, and then there's a steep incline down to a hole. But then that hole has rocks in it, so it doesn't like you fall 50 feet and then you'll just hit rock.
Gotcha. So I was just saying like if it was a cave structure, maybe it would be something to collapse.
Oh yeah, no.
The entrance, but that won't work.
No, this is just a.
Maybe we can wreck the push cart track.
Looks like they got lots of honey there, which might give us some nice snacks before we go deeper.
Oh, you want to go into the chasm?
Of course I want to go in the
We're
chasm.
supposed to bring this stuff back in a timely manner.
Well, we might learn some valuable information from ambushing these things. Would you say 15? I was looking
There's
like
12 of them. 12?
Plus the two big
monsters.
things.
Do we have
14
any
things total?
Do we have anything that has a like really hit a lot of them at the same time? Some sort of fireball or anything like that? I've read in the stories, Master Dorman. Have you mastered the concept of the fireball?
I can hit the cart.
That's the one thing we don't want to hit. The cart has the cargo we're trying to get back on it.
Well, yeah. Well, I have a fire bolt, not like a massive fire like spear.
We could.
One fire bolt will hit one creature.
Let's say we could try again. We could try setting up a distraction. We could set a fire nearby. Might distract a couple of them, but it won't be for long. I don't know how we're going to get the cargo back, though, while we do that small distraction. We're going to have to deal with these guys one way or the other.
Well, they're busy. They're not. Do they have? I mean, they don't have weapons in hand. Oh, what are they? Yeah. How armed are they looking?
The Greykin have their weird daggers and their short bows. The big guys look like they have large clubby-like weapons laying around.
Didn't we just beat the snot out of these things last time we fought them?
Mm-hmm.
You fought
6 of them.
6 of them. Now there's 12, and there's 2 giant things with them.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Now look at our priestess here. What do you think of these odds? Oh God.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
This
So
seems
glad to hear.
this seems overwhelming for our group.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Even splitting them up, we can't split them up long enough for them not to come back and be a problem.
Do you think if Dorbin and I and Nori stays to back you up if you might need it, do you think if Dorbin and I could create a diversion that you could sneak up there and see the contents of the cart they're working with? Maybe if that is
I mean, I can see the contents of the cart from here, can't I?
Yeah.
It's full of the cargo that we're looking for. It seems stamped.
Oh,
with
okay.
gentleman's
So
insignia.
we're pretty sure that that's it.
That looks like what we're looking
Yeah,
for.
So we don't need to go out on the chasm?
No. In fact, I don't want to go into the chasm.
That would be the stuff of legends, though.
It is. It's not our time to be legendary just yet.
Quite right, Easter Rock. All right, So how do we get this car? Well, the diversion still might work.
So it looks like they finished packing this thing, and they start to push it
Where?
down the track.
They're pushing it into the chasm. The ropes are probably actually lowering mechanisms. Are the ropes tied to something?
No, they're hanging out the back. Looks like they're all bundled together too.
Oh, we can't just like stealth assassin and stuff. Start picking off the sidelines because it's just gonna come back from the dead and bite us in the butt.
I most absolutely can't do that, but it's not going to work like that.
I mean, we could set a distraction and see how many leave. But if the majority stay, then...
You see one sparking something. And he lights a little... It's like a torch, but it's only like this long.
We should probably stop that though.
Shit.
He lights the rope that's coming out the back. And now they're pushing the cart, and there's the rope hanging out the back is burning.
What if... Oh, this is going to be bad.
We gotta blow it out to the sides.
I pull out my sword.
I was going to say, I could tie my water skin to it and shoot an arrow and blow it out.
Yeah, you can't do that. Water skin's like
Yeah.
5 pounds.
I'm like...
Oh yeah.
yeah.
What do you think this is, thief?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Also,
You can buy specialty arrows like that. What?
I was just gonna say, if Grace pulls out his sword, we're gonna be visible.
That's true. It's on fire.
It's not that dark yet, is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is?
It is nighttime
nighttime. You
in the
can't
wilderness.
see
You can't see really.
I
what's
put my
going
sword
on.
back.
Yeah.
in the sheath. Damn it.
You
Thank
start
you
pulling
again,
it out. It's
by the
like,
way.
"Sheep, whoa!"
Yeah. Oh,
You can't do that.
It's just like a movie where somebody's like, huh?
All right, everyone, make me intelligence checks.
Oh, damn it.
No. We didn't
Last
figure
one,
out the
last
puzzle.
one.
We didn't come up with
We didn't
anything.
figure it out.
So
Nice.
this is
We rolled our actual
Oh my God.
intelligence.
yeah.
so this is the part that like baffles me is that not once in this whole adventure, when you were with that merchant and he asked you to get his cargo back, did you ask him what the cargo was?
Yeah, we didn't. Now it's just a bunch of
I'm
boxes
just
on fire.
green. I'm just like, whatever you want, sir. Yeah, we're heroes.
150 gold. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. No one. What did everyone get? Nothing. Does anyone want to use their inspiration on this? No.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to. You can just continue on.
No, I want to know exactly what we just let get blown up. It's sea otters in that cart. I knew it.
So
All right.
your highest
So
roll
there's
is a 7.
there's a rope trailing a cart
I
that's
got
on
an
fire.
11
You got
total.
11?
Yeah, it's not enough to...
Yeah, I mean, you know what a fuse
I
is,
rolled a 1.
and now you're starting to think that that's a fuse.
Yeah. Oh, his cargo might have been explosives.
Yeah, we figured that out, but like,
Well, I was trying to... Yeah, we're not going to retrieve that, that's for sure.
All right. Put the story that you know about what this chasm is and what I just what you figured out about the cart together. What are they doing?
are they trying to? Are they escape? Are these escaped slaves trying to seal the chasm so they can? Did they escape the drow and now trying to reseal this chasm so that they can't?
The chasm is sealed.
They're
It
trying
got sealed by
We
heroes.
need to go! I started charging down. Then we can't let them do this.
All right.
Yeah, it's a sealed chasm, and they're throwing explosives
The
at it.
fact that they were out here meant that the thing was unsealed.
At
And
the
they're like, oh, this is the good
So
kind of
at
gurglings
the-
that are trying to like clean up after themselves.
At the risk of doing the same thing over and over again, am I able to shoot an arrow into the track to kind of stop their pushing for a moment? Delay the time?
You can try. You can absolutely try on that. The cart seems really heavy, and the wheels are metal, and the track is metal. Most likely, that little wooden arrow is just going to snap underneath that.
You might derail it though. If you get it, have you ever heard of putting a penny on a train track?
Yeah, they go right over that and squash them.
It doesn't derail the train
like-
like Mama told me.
I was like, have you heard about that?
I mean, at this point, I could roll a firebolt at the cart. And
Just cause the explosion.
try to
now?
cause the explosion before it gets too far.
That sounds like a
Where
better
they're-
idea than what I
That
was saying.
sounds great.
Yeah. So he's pulled out his sword and is running down there.
Okay, yeah,
So-
I'm throwing.
All right.
I'm doing this.
You're just like, disengage.
Go for it.
I'm gonna use your
inspiration.
Inspiration.
Yeah, we bet.
Much better.
Oh!
So it is at like the extreme range of your spell and getting further all the time. So you run up and you just like and like, you know, send it arcing, just trying to like hope it gets there. And it's like, and it's starting to roll, you know, starting to pick up steam, and it goes and right into the edge of the cart. All of a sudden you see a bunch of sparking happen, like the fuse kind of fire spark. And then you see a bunch of smoke and other little fires kind of pick up in there. Like the entire cart starts smoking and flaming. And then like the Greykin are all looking back at you. The two big guys are pushing the cart. They're like looking around and looking in and going, what the? And that's when like the first plume. It's a red plume.
Fireworks.
And it goes up into the sky.
Oh!
Just this massive flower of explosions, this crack of sound, the smell of sulfur hits you, and then like 3 white orbs just go and start flying out, and they all go crack, 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 and then a blue like swirling thing flies into the air. And happy 4th of July game, guys!
Hello, it's Wiley. This is the game you wanted. We got a red, white, and blue. Hey.
All of these things start going off and exploding, and some of them don't go up. They start exploding in the cart. Just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Gremlins are running everywhere. The two big things are like, "Ah!" It is just ridiculous, but it is the most amazing light show you guys have ever seen amongst the black night sky over this cold, quiet forest out in the middle of nowhere. And you are positive that everyone back on the road is seeing this too.
I think we should make our retreat.
I'm like, down the hill, like, what?
In all of this, make me perceptions.
Is that the time to disengage?
Yeah.
Hey.
22.
I'm very distracted by the Star Spangled Banner in the sky.
No? Okay. You got a 22?
22.
All right. So as this is all going off, and like some of the things aren't going off properly, they're exploding in the cart and all that stuff, they wipe out all the Greykin and the two big guys. You know, dead and dead again.
Does it count as us killing?
Yes, it does. But they go right back down. The cart just blam, 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 and by the time it's gets to its destination, falls over. There's nothing left in it. It's just smoking cart. But in all of this explosions and light show that you're seeing up there, and you're like, you're kind of panicked and looking around. Over on the opposite side of the ravine, standing over where the chasm is, basically having a good view of it, there's a black shape. And it's tall, and it's wearing a dark cloak, and you can see something glowing red kind of somewhere around its arm or something like that. And it just looks like it's looking at you, and you can feel the malice coming off of it as it's watching this spectacle go on, and then it just disappears.
I would probably skinny that.
What?
I would say probably.
No.
Yeah, I know.
You slide down the ridge line and watch the light show and everything die and amazing and hey guys, did you see that?
I was totally worth 150 gold.
It was amazing.
Come back to get my cargo? No.
Oh no, he knows that he's not good. He can see that right now. Just imagine looking over like a forest, just nothing,
That's
quiet
funny.
forest, and all of a sudden a fireworks show just happens. Happy 4th of July, guys.
Thank you.
You know what's funny is that it took us 2 sessions to get there anyway. It wouldn't even have happened on the 4th of July.
Right?
Anyway, we were like, we just got into the forest.
Yeah.
You guys took your sweet time getting out of Daggerford.
Yeah.
This is a nice little city.
Let's go back to the jeweler. So let's go down and inspect the chaos, see if there's anything we can
Yeah, there's
learn or garner.
Yeah, there's lots of smears of sulfur and smoke and smolder, corpses, and not much else. Most of the corpses are burned.
What's the state of the cart?
Gone. It went down into the chasm.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was already done.
Let's head back.
Yeah, I mean,
making sure
dang.
to enjoy it.
I actually want to make sure. I want to make sure that these things are actually dead. No, I'm not like going around like die.
Well, there's not much. There's not enough of them to stand back up. So
okay. Even the big ones.
Yep. Even
This
the big
isn't
ones.
modern fireworks. This is like
Yeah.
Volatile.
sketchy chemistry at best back then.
Like what we saw was
freaky-
probably like an unintentional accidental side effect of these things. All right. Do you realize what they were trying to do?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
All right.
They were trying to break open this cave right here, possibly releasing more things out into the wilderness. More of their kind, or at least in
Not their kind, but the master's kind.
Gee,
Well,
I don't know.
He skinnies the fact that he saw.
Oh, you did it. Oh,
Yeah.
you did do that.
Yeah.
Where? You
It's
skinnied
up there. I
it.
skinnied that it was
Yes,
up there.
yeah.
We lost it. It
We
disappeared.
should. Can you find it? Do you think we can find a trail? That's more important than what we're dealing with. This
I can
going
try.
back to say, like,
There's
guess
nothing-
what?
It was
happened
on
in
rock.
Clark?
Yeah, and it disappeared. So
Yeah, it sorry. It seems to have teleported or flown away. I can't find a trail.
Ugh.
We'll have to take this information with us into the next stop.
That sounds good.
hey, when you register at the Adventurers Guild in Waterdeep, you can make sure to tell them what occurred here.
Hey. Also, on our way back, let's avoid those two guys that are distracted, unless they've come running at this point.
Nope. And when you pass by that area again, you don't see any sign of them.
Well,
They have either fled or been instructed to leave.
Let's head back and let the merchant know
Yeah.
what the Grey King did.
When you get back, the merchant's just sitting in his empty cart, like sobbing silently.
there you go. Hey, guess what?
I tried to make him feel better by regaling with the tale of our exploit.
Okay.
Oh, get out of here! Never
Natural
happens.
20.
Natural 20 plus 3 performance.
Every time you tell about your stories, you go back to the end and you tell everyone about your stories, you always get something
Is it
like
good?
that.
Yeah.
And you're always like, everyone's into it. They're giving you money for some reason.
That's
Like,
right.
what? Just your Easter Rock eye fails. Your
Performance.
Perf-
is
your
better.
That's natural
storytelling.
like, elven like.
your bragging.
tell-
Your bragging is spot on.
I tell him how
You little
difficult it
songbird.
was, and how epic they although he's lost his fireworks, the destruction of the Grey King can be attributed to him, and I'll sing the song in the next inn.
Yeah, he punctuates your story with sobs and cries.
I'm such a hero.
Other people are on the trail are like, awesome.
And it's there was a couple of the other carts that just decided to stay with him.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
there's some people that hear it and are adequately impressed at your exploits. Plus, they have the light show. Like they have proof that you did what you said you did.
Make sure they know that we're the candle thing.
So yeah,
Candle bang.
that was the 4th of July episode, guys. That's all I got. So let's wrap it up. Like,
Oh, I was like,
yeah.
cool.
cool.
Andy.
I was like, were we supposed to get in some
Andy's over here.
long engagement with the...
He's like, I'm not done writing.
Bandy.
She's over here.
Oh, I want her over here.
How's it feel to want?
Despair. Alright. Well, back on the road to Waterdeep, I
Let's head
guess,
back to
fellows.
Yeah, moving on.
I mean,
Well.
it's evening. You might as well rest there. And
Yeah, I mean, you spend the rest of the
Safe,
night
yeah.
there.
what? Sing this song of our stupid exploits.
Guessing these temporary hit points Robert gave me are long gone
Yes,
by
they
now.
are long gone.
You want some more before we rest?
Are we
You a little
resting,
wink,
like-
you feel really good going to sleep, and get them back for the
Get some
rest.
of your
Are we
points
like
before
long
bed.
resting for the night?
Yeah, a long rest.
Do, 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 do.
It'll no longer be on. Oh, I get one spell slot back?
You get all your spell slots back. Long rest. Everything is reset.
That's rogues for you.
Except I lost an arrow.
Yes.
It comes back and you just sleep. Like,
And
just
some ball bearings.
I do the Mjolnir thing.
Yeah. Oh, I came head first.
Like, I feel like the ultimate goal for your character is to get a bow of infinite arrows.
Hell yeah.
Like, I never have to go get them.
I've forgotten a couple of times. I started with like 25 and I got down to like 17 at one point where I was like, yeah, did I get my arrow back?
You know, it's supposed to be something you kind of forget sometimes, depending on the moment, you know.
Well, in our Rift game, my glitter boy sets his low ammo counter comes on after it's not at 100%.
Oh, yeah.
He has 100 shots.
Yeah.
I fire one at the end of every round and like turn off the low ammo counter. It's like at 99 out of 100 shots, the low ammo counter's on.
Which means one day he's actually going to run out and he's going to go, why did I know about that?
You turn the low ammo counter off.
It's because everything is low ammo. You don't actually know when you're at low ammo.
All right.
You make the low ammo counter meaningless.
So we just like camped out here in the wilderness?
No,
Right.
in the trail.
Oh, yeah.
The Great Trade Trail.
Okay.
I'm guessing that's kind of normal for people to pull off and camp.
Sure, yeah. Are there like Faerun highway patrol that come out? Like, you can't sleep here.
There's food carts.
I mean, I imagine there could be some of those other cart people
Yeah,
still.
there are. You have the Kalimshan merchant is with you, plus about 2 other carts that decided to stay here for the night because they were already parked there anyway, helping the merchant.
Plus that story was cool and they wanted to hear the end
That's
of
pretty
it.
cool, yeah.
They saw a fireworks show.
So would you get those sort of materials? That was quite an effect they had.
Are you really trying to talk to the sobbing merchant?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm trying to appeal to him, like, hey, wow, it looks like you did a really good job making that stuff. It worked really well.
He cries.
Yeah, he cries.
He cries.
I'm trying, folks. I give him temporary health points.
He is not your ally. You cannot grace him.
Not your ally. It has no effect.
He's like super sick of us.
Yeah.
Do not pass go. Do not collect 150.
The other thing I'm startled at is you didn't try to haggle and get more out of him.
What?
I mean, you wouldn't, but
No, I didn't. Yeah.
all right.
No, I feel better about
I
that.
feel like the DM is very disappointed in our actions.
All right, guys. Well, I
Yes,
guess
he overpowered the group on purpose. We were supposed to set the fireworks up.
yes. Yeah, you were supposed to set the fireworks off. It was the 4th of July episode.
Well, it's almost August. It's hard to tell.
All right.
You go to sleep. You wake up the next day. It is a crisp, cool morning.
Ooh, good morning, Benji.
Off you go to Waterdeep. Hey, you're only about 3/4 a day out, so
Sweet.
by this afternoon you will be there.
Excellent. Let's head out.
Traveling along, you can keep pace with the other merchants that were there with you. If you want, you're a little bit faster since all you have is pretty much an empty cart and just your horses.
Yeah.
But you come over, you start to see on the horizon, Waterdeep appears. It starts to rise up ahead of you, and then it just keeps rising and keeps rising and keeps going out and out and out. And you've been here before, but for the rest of you, this is the largest.
I've seen
city
illustrated
you
postcards
have
in the
ever
Candlekeep
seen.
Mail, but it doesn't quite do it
I'm
justice.
excited to get out of the woods. I'm like, come on, guys,
Yeah,
let's get in there.
we were out in the nature for quite a while.
Yeah.
Quite a while.
I'm ready to be back in a big city again.
I mean,
And
I think that's why we spent so much time in Daggerfall.
Daggerford.
Daggerford.
Daggerford,
This is
just
way bigger.
Yeah.
Vandy.
This is a massive city, and you guys went through like southern Baldur's Gate, and Baldur's Gate's pretty sprawling, but this thing is just massive, walled, huge swaths of farmland outside. The ocean breeze coming in. You can see ships out, plying their trade, leaving and coming from the harbor. This place is huge, and you guys enter in through one of the districts. Man, I can't even remember them all.
It's a lot. Black Lake.
Well, I know which way you're coming from.
What time of day is it as we're arriving?
Afternoon.
Vandy, do it just tastes delicious. What's up?
She just likes
after
the
supper,
likes.
but before dinner.
You are coming in from Dock Ward.
Dock, baby. That's where the ships are.
What?
What?
We're on the dock? Get out of here.
You said Dockward. I was like, oh, Dockwall? That's rich.
Huh.
So, your trail is bringing you in. Oh, no, you aren't. You're coming from Trade Ward. Sorry. I saw that little off branch. But you're coming in from the Great Trade Route, so you're coming in up here, Trade Ward.
Still.
Cool. Do we get in the city fine? Like, do they stop us or?
There is guard out there. They just kind of look you up and down, ask your business.
I'll just pipe up that we're here for the adventure, to sign on with the Adventurers Guild.
The guard's like, all right.
I used to be an adventurer like you.
More would-be adventurers. It's what this place needs. Thinking they're above the law.
Yeah.
Dragon Roll 1A. Don't look that tough.
They wave you through.
All right.
In Trade Ward, first off, you guys are absolutely accosted with criers and come take a look at our wares, the finest silks from this and that, blah blah blah, like all kinds of people. And like the main road up is just a bunch of people that have parked their carts in spaces that are probably for rent for way too much, just to try to be the first to hawk their wares at whoever comes through here. There's a lot of congestion in and out as merchants are coming in and merchants are leaving, empty, or actually nothing's empty. Come in here, offload, buy more stuff to go somewhere else, and out they go. Caravans getting ready, unpacking for the day. Like even as late a day it is, people are still coming and going. The smells of various cooking, as pretty much every restaurant, pub, and area has their doors open and trying to entice people into their common rooms with the smell of their food, as well as decorations. It seems that people are putting up some stuff for some type of festival that's coming up.
Ooh!
It's probably whatever festival that guy was supposed to be bringing up those fireworks for.
I asked the guy that came with us, like, hey, you
He's
know
not
anything
with
about
you
this?
anymore.
Oh, okay.
And he turned around and went home.
He was supposed to make it here, or he was ruined for the season. That was
Right.
the whole thing. We fucked this whole world up. Now his kids are going to starve to death.
You know, though.
Technically, Ray can't fuck this.
So we stopped the great
Well,
drought.
technically you did it.
Well.
If you want to get serious.
He didn't do anything. They had to steal his stuff for that chain of events to even happen.
Yeah.
And they were setting it on.
Since you've been in big cities before, that this place is the last place you want to spend money on regular stuff. Because, right at the gate is where they're going to overcharge you for everything. Food, lodging, even the most common, resupplies. If you go deeper in, you're going to find cheaper prices. It's the highway.
You got to get a water deep luck charm.
Yeah.
80 gold, I guess.
The gods are always watching.
All right, so I'm skinny that. Suggest we head deeper into Waterdeep to look for lodging.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure I've been here before. Do I know of a good inn that's reasonable?
Yes, you do.
Perhaps I've been there before.
You have been here before. So there's two two ways to look at it. First off, Castle Ward is too exclusive and kind of hoity-toity, and the laws are too strict there, so it's not someplace you regularly go. You normally try to skirt up through North Ward or to North Ward. North Ward is just kind of like a living area, stuff like that. It's going to have more reasonable inns that are cozier and more for locals, or just people that are a lot more long-term people. You can also go down to Dock Ward, and Dock Ward is cheap. There's guards and stuff down there, but they're stretched pretty thin and they're more pliable if something goes wrong. They're more bribable. But yeah, Dock Ward is pretty rough. I mean, it's docks.
Where around is it we're going to talk to the person about the...
Do you know where the Grand Library
the Grand Library is in Castle Ward.
Okay, so let's go up to the North Ward to some place there that's a little cozier.
And you could go into Castle Ward and try your luck, but it's pretty hoity-toity.
I don't want to splurge. Plus, I probably owe some people some money around there.
Probably. Why is it always the last book?
I know, right? It's a matter of fact.
Actually, no. It's none of these. Oh, here it is. We'll be right back message. We'll be right back message.
We're doing that. I'll P2.
After these messages.
Right. Sit there by yourself, Dan. Talk to the camera for a bit.
All right. What's going on? Nobody?
What's going on?
Is everyone taking a break? Alright.
Yep.
What's going on?
People are peeing.
What?
People, as in like you, are peeing.
You disrupted the stream. To have your own stream.
Hey.
Hey. Alright, so what Isarok the guy told you is Trade Ward, right at the gates, is pretty expensive.
Yes, I remember that.
There's more competition deeper in the ward, but there's better inns in other wards. Or better accommodations.
And Eastrock was using his knowledge of the city to try to find those, I think.
Correct.
How's the city look? Do people look like, city-like?
City-like?
It's probably
Is
a
it
fair
just like-
assumption.
Yeah, I mean, does it look like everything's, fine? Like, people just going out the business? Or is it just, is there, clamoring people? Just where's our bread?
Nah, nothing like that.
Yeah. What is it, Bandy? What is it, Bandy? You walking backwards?
So I was messing around with Google's autofill today. You type something in and it plays up.
Yeah.
And an old one that I'd heard about a while back is still there. So if you type into Google, I hate it when, and you stop there, the fourth one is still, I hate it when I'm studying and a velociraptor throws a banana. It's a true story.
That's nice.
Bandy, I gotta get in there. Come on. She's like, don't kick me in the ankles.
I like how sparkly your shirt is.
It's my dancing shirt. It's breakaway too. All of a sudden, the white balance gets blown out.
Yeah.
Everything gets darker. I'm at the point where I can't get tan anymore because I just reflect. Hey.
Hmm?
He's like, I'm so tired of watching your guys stream.
No.
All right.
What is
Let's hear it.
What does he say?
So, Skorka. I am Skorka, the mystical orc. I come with a prophecy that will affect the game for the party, good or bad. Care to hear it?
Hell yeah, I want to hear it.
All right, let's hear it.
Novelty accounts. Activate.
So you're in Waterdeep. North Ward is where lots of nobles live, but it's also where lots of inns and accommodations are. Castle Ward is where the business, it's the castle, it's the education centers, it's the places where government takes place, and that's where the Grand Library is. Dock Ward is docks, seedy, windy, lower class.
Let's go to Northward. Let's do some middle class this time.
All right, so you head up and you skirt around through Castle Ward, the edges of Castle Ward, and the City of the Dead, which is in the graveyard for Waterdeep. It's just an entire ward that is essentially one massive graveyard.
Wow.
And you're like, I hope we don't have to go there, but you also know what's going on in your lives, and you're like, we're going to have to go there.
Boy.
It's probably
What
good.
district is that?
What?
What district is that?
The City of the Dead.
Oh,
It's an entire ward that is it's a cemetery.
The necropolis. Yeah, alright.
You know who you're dealing with.
Yeah. Steve Urkel and the Merkel Urkel twins.
The Merkel, Jurgle, Urkel, Merkel.
Yeah.
All right. The legendary god of dragons appears. You must roll the die and say your roll in class. Roll the die and say your roll in class. Go for it.
Roll a die and say my roll and class or in class?
Roll and class.
So you rolled a
45.
Your ROLE.
Necromancer.
No, you're not.
So 15 thief.
Isarok guide.
What does it say?
So, yeah, roll in class. So thief. Yeah, 15 thief.
Yeah.
And then I got a 12, and I'm a sorcerer.
15 fighter.
Nice. Alright. So, into the North Ward, past the City of the Dead.
Past the City of the Dead in the Castle Ward.
No, the North Ward.
Correct.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, Trade Ward
Gotcha.
skirts those two wards. Like you have to go through them, and then you're up in
Sorry,
North Ward.
I misunderstood.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
I got distracted by an orc.
An orcical.
Norcical.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I like the oracle.
So, you guys, in this terrible, terrible map, you've entered here. This is the City of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
This is Castle Ward. So you
Map
just
looks like
skirted up in
fungus.
here, right? Skirted up in here, up in the North
Looks
Ward.
like you left something out in the rain for too long, and then someone just wrote some words on it.
Alright.
15 thief, 15 fighter, 12 sorcerer.
That's right, yep.
Yeah.
Up in the North Ward you go. The streets are cobblestone. They're nice and wide. The decorations are going up in here. Most windowsills have flowers, and it's pretty nice
I've
place.
been here before. Do I know what festival we're talking about? Or do I have to ask somebody?
Yeah, it's like it could be anything. Waterdeep does celebrate a lot of thises and that's and
Let
all
me
kinds
ask
of
somebody.
stuff.
Hey, what are decorations going for?
It's in honor of some winter sea battle that occurred,
Oh, okay.
where one of the lords of Waterdeep actually walked out on the water to stop a ship from doing something. At least
Which one?
who knows?
Admiral Nelson.
Admiral Nelson.
It's from the origins of Waterdeep,
yeah.
when it was still just a fledgling little dock
Maybe
city.
even they're not super sure what's going
Yeah,
on.
like
It's just the
if you ask
14th
four
of-
people,
yeah.
they'll give you 4 different stories about.
Right.
The 14th
the hero.
of November just happens to be a celebration or
Right.
whatever. Yeah. I don't know the months. I just made November.
Neftember.
I liked it. I thought it was like a favorite thing. I'm like, wow, you did your book learning.
There is the whole calendar and all that stuff at the beginning here. I'm like,
It's like,
I'm gonna learn this
I'm-
and then never use
I'm
it.
super
Like,
weird
Yeah,
about that.
yeah.
Like,
hey, guess what, guys? It's Thorns March.
I
I'm like,
love-
oh, so what is that? It's March. All right, just
see, I'm super weird because I love doing research and stuff like that. But with games like this, I'm blind. I just walk in blind. I'm like, roll my fucking dice. You tell me.
Everyone receives +2 Constitution and are required to answer a riddle. It's what has 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the evening, and 3 legs at night.
Man.
Man.
Calls when he's a baby. It stands up.
The Sphinx's riddle.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's pretty clever amongst orcs.
that is probably very super clever amongst orcs. Everyone gets +2 Constitution for the rest of the adventure.
All right.
Hey.
Sweet.
Congratulations.
I can eat spicier food.
I'll take 3 more hit points.
Yeah, you guys all get 3 temporary hit points. So congratulations.
Thanks, Gorkamorka.
Gorkamorka.
What's his actual name?
Skorka.
Skorka, yeah.
Well, why is it so long?
It's Skorka from Illyriad, or I don't know how to say it.
The Iliad?
No. Illyrriad.
Illyriad.
Illyriad.
I'm
sorry, I don't know the reference.
Our forgotten $12 like these are not true favorite walkers.
I don't know the reference.
I'm thinking, I don't know it.
But people seem to be in pretty good spirits.
Sweet.
Everyone receives -6.
I started asking about the Adventurer's
For
Guild.
mocking the god of dragons.
Wait, what?
We all
Gave
received
us
-6 quantities for mocking the god of dragons. Oh, sorry, everybody.
We're wasted now.
All right. We are now. Like, all of us is very sick.
Yeah. We're just sipping like faint beer.
So have we found an inn, or are you looking for something?
Oh, I was just looking at them. The festival's called Winter Water, and it's just it is specifically a Waterdeep festival. It's not a Faerunian standard one. And again, a city this big has a lot of these little holidays and remembrances and yada yada yada. Yeah, you can find an inn. You could go to one that you like. Do you want to take these people to someplace you've been before, or do you want to find someplace new where you're not going to get recognized?
New, I'm not going to
Right.
That's why I was saying, let's just stay out of Castle District, because that probably owes some people some money over there.
All right. Well, you're the guy.
Your communication recycler is bent.
There it is. So you got a couple options on this street. There is the Tilted Knight, and it's got a funny picture of a knight with a jousting thing, but he's like drunk. Mm-hmm. So he's the tilting is jousting, but he's the Tilted Knight because he's drunk.
It's a pun.
It's a pun.
It's so punny.
The cracked bell number 2.
The correct.
The extra cracked bell.
And the other one is the Moon Drop.
I like the Tilted Knight.
Me too. Moondrop? It's probably some elf stuff.
So let's go to I'm an elf.
I don't know.
Let's go to the Tilted Knight.
Where?
Okay. So you go to the Tilted Knight, and it is fairly lively in there. Nice and cozy. Couple big hearths inside the common area.
Where did we stay in One Tree? What was the name of that inn?
Bertha's house.
Do you remember?
Which?
I might have it down.
The one tree
Inn.
The Lone Tree
It
Inn.
was called the Double Tree.
What was the Lone Tree? Was it
Yeah.
the Lone Tree Inn?
Whatever the inn was in Lone Tree. Inconsequential.
The inconsequential.
If you guys,
Inconsequential. God damn it.
yeah, the inconsequential.
Motherfucker. All right.
If you guys ever go back there,
This is one of those DM character player things where you're like, you love to describe the food. Actually, for breakfast, it's like yesterday's
You're
bread.
like,
They
the
make
inn,
soup and they put it in
the
there.
this.
Every time at the end, we're always like, oh, the Tilted came out. We fucking know everybody here. Cracked bell. They know me there.
Yeah.
So the Tilted Knight is lively. It's got a couple big hearths, large tables. So it has large tables in the center for like communal get-togethers and stuff like that, and also has smaller tables around the edges and a couple of nice cozy chairs around the hearths themselves, with books like up on the mantle. Above the, like basically on the wall is a knight's armor with a massive dent in its chest.
Huh.
It looks like ceremonial, like jousting armor, so it's not real.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
aluminum essentially.
Okay.
So it's just for show. But the tilted knight got
Right.
jousted.
You got
Are there performers?
There are several bards already here, not true bards, not classed bards, but they're minstrels, they're musicians here, playing some jigs. There's some dancing going on, but it's not like everyone's dancing. This is not nightclub level in.
Same thing as always. I walk in and say, "Listen up. Perhaps, minstrel, you could aid me in the regaling of the tale of the Candle Fang." Damn it, that's not very good at all.
Oh no!
Nobody
They're
wants.
like,
They're
fuck off!
Oh wait, plus 8 altogether. Basically, there's too much going on in here. Nobody cares.
Yeah, you try to get everyone's attention. Everyone kind of like looks for a second and then goes back to what they're doing.
I'm a dime a dozen here. Well, that's okay.
Well,
The tilted knight.
you guys go over, take your own little personal table, and it just has 4 chairs for you. Nori reaches into her bag, pulls out a large, like wrapped swath of something, and unwraps it. And it's in a like oiled cloth, and takes out the candle fang,
Excellent.
which she made while she was in Daggerford.
We're not actually. Yeah, we're not
Look at that.
labeled here. We can't do that yet, can
Well,
we?
that's what I
We
wanted to
aren't
try to find
labeled
out.
yet.
We're
No, I mean, we're not
necessarily,
labeled.
but
We don't
can
have,
be.
You don't have your charter here.
Yeah, so we should put that away, Nori.
Really?
I don't know.
No, keep it out.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
But she puts
We
like
want to
the
find
plate.
the Adventurers Guild, the Faerunian Adventurers Guild. We also want to don't forget. We also want to find. I still think we are looking for Cassier Brasshinge, who's our Netherese expert.
That's true. Right now, we're just having dinner.
Yeah, I know. We're having dinner and we're discussing what we're going to do in the city.
Okay.
But she puts out her brass plate and then puts the candle in it and then lights it.
That's really nice.
All right. So now, what is it? Who was the name of the person that we're looking
Or
for?
else you light it.
Cassier Brasshinge,
So brass hinge.
our Netherese expert, who might be able to translate some of these scrolls.
Sounds good. We'll do that first thing in the morning.
He's
And I
appointed.
don't
He
think
should
I
be in the
do.
Grand Library. He was appointed by the Lord's Alliance, so he shouldn't be an asshole. Like he should be somebody who like gives a shit.
Yeah. Well, at this point, I think because we're out of the desert, out of the forest, take off my little warm orange ring and give it to you, and ask you what you think of this. I have an orangish gold ring that I've carried around. Jordan, tell me what you think of this ring. Perhaps you can make more use of it than me.
Squawk is now hosting us.
It's the corner of my eye. It's like,
Oh,
Thank you,
Oh,
Skorka. We are getting hosted by Skorka.
Hey, Skorka, thanks for
Thank
hosting.
you.
Sorry for insulting the god of dragons.
I
Yeah,
feel-
the God of Mischief came by. So the God of Dragons leaves and did not give us 100 gold. But the God of Mischief showed up and commended us for making fun of the God of Dragons.
That's how we lost the Constitution. Wow, this beer seems really strong, guys.
For
Like,
that of an orc.
Alright, so you take a look at the ring.
we did
Make
lots
a
of gods.
Arcana check.
Hey, that's not too bad. That's not too bad.
21.
Yes, you're going to tell what this thing is.
It is a ring of warmth. You've heard of these things. You now can see what it is. It's got a little thing. Interestingly enough, and we didn't go through this, but this is something that's going to happen later on as you go forward with the game. The ring of warmth is a magic item that requires attunement. So it is now attuned to you.
To me.
To you. And you can unattune it at any time. It just takes a short rest to attune something. You can just play with it. And you can only have 3 magic items attuned to you. So there's certain magic items that you can just use and they're just there. But there's certain magic items that require attunement and you can only ever have 3 of them.
Gotcha. Well, I was going
Like
to
your
say...
shield is
that,
one.
It seems like one.
So what I was going to say was that, I have little use of this as an elf. Dorman, could you use it? Would it aid you?
While wearing this ring, you have resistance to cold damage, which means you take half damage from anything that's cold. In addition, you and everything you wear and carry are unharmed by temperatures as low as negative 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
I said, why don't you wait to see what it does?
No, okay,
before
cool.
You're like, I can't use
My
this.
bad. No,
Why
it's
would I
cool.
need that?
Awesome. Sweet.
So, all cold damage is halved, plus you're never affected by cold unless it gets super
This
cold.
would be
Increases your sperm count. It's a great ring.
It's a great counter to the cold dagger that you now wield.
So if you ever stab yourself like an idiot, you'll be all right.
I just
Did I
fucking
ever get
misspelled
the cold
ring.
dagger?
You did,
just
and you
misspelled
tried to use
ring.
it once and failed.
Well, I tried to use it once.
Oh, that's right. You tried to use it once.
Like, I
so
don't
you
think
have
I-
not given it to
It
us.
happens all the time. You know, I sometimes forget how to spell ice, and I feel like an idiot every time. I'm like, I know how to spell ice. Why is this? Why is this a challenge?
It's what is it? It's half cold damage,
Half cold damage
and then
and no harmful effects for being in cold environments.
That's nice.
Did I ever like stop?
check out
Did
a
I just
frozen
like fail
tunnel.
an Arcana check on the cold dagger? Like,
Yes. And if you want to try again, you can. I'll let you have
I'm just
time.
curious why we didn't have any.
Actually, I don't
detail.
even know if you actually ever
no, we
made
never.
an
I
Arcana
just
check.
I tried.
He just gave it to you. I think, yeah, you tried and failed, and you ended up with it and
It
never
It was
looked
like
at it.
the one out of character thing I ever did was like be like, this thing looks
You wanna
magic.
take a look at it?
Here's-
Why not? If we're checking out
All right, go for it.
12.
No.
So
It's a
then,
bookmark.
also while we were doing that, as for fun, I was going to give you the ancient coins.
Oh yeah.
Because you might think they're cool. They're actually only worth 10 gold, so you can just add 10
Oh,
gold.
they look so
but-
cool though.
But yeah,
You could probably name a few of the places that they're
historian, I thought
from,
you
or
would find
Yeah,
a few of the
I do.
time
I
periods.
really do.
Yeah,
Where'd
that
you
was-
find these? Like, where'd they come from?
Where did I found those in the Alchemists? No, that's not right. Oh, it was, in the crypt.
The
It
crypt.
was in the crypt.
Yeah.
I found these in the crypt on some desiccated bodies. I thought you might find them interesting.
10 ancient coins. Ooh.
Well, it's 10
Oh,
gold worth
It's
of
probably
ancient
5 or 6
coins.
coins because
Oh.
it's only just weight, whatever it is.
Well, thank you. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever given. No, it's
But
not
he gave
true.
you
I
the
have a
shield.
flaming sword
He
and
gave you
a
the
shield.
shield.
I thought you were the shield was that.
But it's the nicest thing a fucking thief ever gave to me. I'll tell you that.
There you go.
Alright.
I'll give give Nori the candles I got. She could use them.
She can use them to keep the candle fang.
alive.
Yeah.
There we
How
go.
do you do that, by the way? You just got that motion to like mold them when they're like hot.
What's a
You have to-
candle?
yeah.
Basically, it's hot water is one of the ways you do it now. Like, or you heat the whole whatever. If you would do real candles are done by dipping. You take the wick and you hold it with
Yeah,
two fingers and
but
you
how
just
you-
kind of do this.
Yeah,
over
but
and
how
over
would you get that fang look?
So reshaping would just be done by kind of like encompassing heat. So you could heat up a pot, put the whole thing in there, not boiling, but hot enough you can get your hands in there and you can reshape
Oh,
the wax
okay.
like
Yeah,
that.
keep doing
mold
that.
it like that. Yeah.
Keep doing it just like they were doing.
Just like this.
Just like that.
Make the
Just
fang.
like
Fang shape out of
that.
it.
You guys, stop it.
Sorry. I should put the pot up here.
We are not a kid-friendly
Like
channel.
this, like that.
We are behind an adult. You know, you must be 18 or older to see this. So, and you see why now. Well, speaking of Skorka, can you hear us? Okay, we just got a new mic. So
Hello.
is everything coming through clear? Do we need to mess with it at all?
I don't- you know, it's not-
I like the nice little chicken legs. It's got like this.
Oh,
this is a serious, like,
Yeah.
it's kind
That's-
of turning me on a little bit. It's
Right,
sexual. like-
it's the mic I wanted to get, or it's a little bit down than the mic I wanted to get when we first started. But I'm like, well, we're just starting out. Let me get a $20 mic.
yeah.
And Prime Day came about, and this was on a deal, and I'm like, I think I got it.
Whoa.
Whoa, hey buddy, god damn,
It's a spy from the graveyards.
that's insane.
Oh no.
Watch, he's gonna,
It's
Yeah.
gonna
fall.
drop.
He's gone. Nope, there he is. He's looking for Robert.
Hi, buddy. I was wondering you'd come back to me.
So
It's your
interesting
familiar.
story. So what we're looking at is there is a big bug on the ceiling.
We're on camera.
Audio is okay. Thank you.
All right,
Scorpio.
cool. Audio's good. All right.
So the other day, when Amanda and Jen were at, I don't know where
He's
he
at
went.
the
Oh,
base.
he's right there. He's at the
He's
base.
at the base, yeah.
When Amanda and Jen were at Thirsties and after work and they were getting drunk, they were playing darts and they came back into the dining room And we look over, and Jin's sitting there throwing darts into the ceiling tiles. And I'm like, and we look over, and like we see this like huge hole, like where she's poking holes, and we're like,
Jackass.
holy crap! Like
Doing?
Shane made such a big deal about those ceiling tiles,
He makes a big deal about me spilling mustard.
right? So,
I mean, he does own the place.
so he
I'm just saying, of course you would make a deal out of this.
we're like, oh my god, I can't believe she did that, and we're giving Amanda shit the other day about it, and we look over and we're like, wait, we can't see that hole anymore. Like, it was huge. Like, we could see it from the bar. We could see it. And she's like, no, that wasn't a hole. There was a roach
On the ceiling.
on the ceiling, and I hit it. Like,
You
she
bet
got it
the
with a
roach?
dart.
No way!
Tink, and like killed it. like what the hell?
She got them Dwarven skills.
So
Yeah,
Skorka,
Jen,
so
Jen and
Skorka,
her family are hunters, so I mean, it's kind of funny.
Skorka's got a shop set up where he's selling potions for 30 gold apiece.
I would like to buy a potion master.
He also said he'll take those
quest.
10 gold of ancient coins for a necklace of healing.
Would he though?
Would he?
Steal. Hey.
Apparently gives +6 Constitution.
I love it. Like
Yeah, I'll need it to
he's
pick up
just
for
like
this cursed
handing out
concentration.
huge Constitution booze,
Yeah.
huge Constitution failures, magical items.
Oh,
We're like
man.
level 3.
So far in this
Stealing them.
campaign, orcs have been pretty cool.
Yeah, the
Orcs are pretty
orcical.
badass.
The orcical. All right.
Orcical.
Okay, cool.
So while we're here, I mean, obviously food. Can we secure lodging kind of semi-permanently?
Yep.
What is it looking
We're in the
like?
tilted night, yeah?
The tilted
You're in the
night.
tilted deck. Whoop.
Alright, well, so what's the plan, guys? Should we set up the... We should find out. We should find out where this Adventurers Guild is. Do you know? You looks like you know your way around here.
I'm sure I would know where the Adventurers Guild is, right?
Yes,
I mean, if
it's
I
in the
knew it
Castle Ward. So tomorrow, when you go to the Castle Ward to go to the Grand Library, you can also hit up the Adventurers Guild
Perfect.
and register, if you would like.
I was really not looking forward to like it's right above me and just falls like on my face. And
Geronimo!
It's not going to fall.
Oh, it's shaky though.
No, it's fine.
Do you think it's hard for a bug to do that? Like,
Probably not on popcorn ceiling like this. He's just basically hooking on.
yeah.
All right, this is a modest inn. Actually, it's a comfortable inn. It's going to be 8 silver pieces a day per person. 2 gold will get you a stateroom, which could accommodate all 4 of you in a single room.
Oh, let's do
A
that.
night?
A night.
Okay, let's do
The
that.
2 gold between the 4 of us?
I've got it, guys.
What?
Let me take care of you this evening.
You kidding me?
fuck this guy.
We got a special discount? Get him.
He's aiming for my drink. I can tell.
I was like, oh, I want that. I want that.
He's doing the Bugs Bunny high dive into a cup.
Yeah.
He's just laxing. Don't worry about it.
So in a stateroom would have, 4 beds, a desk,
Cool. So we'll do that, obviously.
Yeah.
At least for the first
a
night.
little area, like living area.
Are there any like cool things in it? Like if I open a nightstand, is there like a little
I slap your
book
hand
on
on the
it?
mini
No!
fridge. The mini fridge. No.
No.
That's
Where
expensive.
there's a little
$8
book of
for a
Torm
Coke?
or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
No. Nothing like that.
All right. So what are we gonna do in the morning?
We're gonna go.
Candle Fang.
We're gonna head to. Well, I mean, we're still downstairs. No,
Yeah, meals are 5 silver pieces apiece, so another 2 gold essentially for meals.
Listen to you guys. So
Jesus, you guys.
So I know, right? So tomorrow we're going to go talk to.
Well, we want to see the Adventurers Guild, but we're here to find Cassia Braskin to
So
talk about
his-
these Netherese scrolls
his
and their
office-
connection with the Velsharoon, the evil god of necromancy.
Exactly. His office is in the Castle District, where we're going to end up going to the
Adventures.
Adventurers Guild. Anyways.
Probably want to head to that library first, just because.
I can tell you if you want.
Might want to get registered first, so you have some legitimacy.
It's like I'm sure like one side is in different
These are ones,
denominations. Maybe have a
fives.
cross.
Yeah, ones, fives, tens.
Yeah.
These are 100 and 500. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
Are you telling him your secret code?
Why not? He's gonna forget it next time. Anyway.
He's already forgotten it right now.
He's already forgotten.
Drinking water.
I'm forgetting it right
guys.
now. Alrighty then. There's not much going on tonight. I mean, the food is good. It is seafood.
Seafood.
Yeah, I mean, you are next to the ocean.
Yeah. Wonderful. Sword Coastal Lights.
Just
Huh?
just ignore it. It'll go away.
It's like, what is it like?
Remember, for every one you see, there's 5 you don't. So
Is it like Sahagin Hawks? Or like, is it like
Yeah.
something crazy? Or is it like...
It's like white fish cooked on salt planks with a nice cream broth over top and some blanched vegetables.
Dorbin just eats the vegetables.
I don't know.
You don't like seafood.
There's also a shellfish
I should see,
stew.
like, as a role play.
With
like,
some
you see
fresh
Dorbin
stewed
being much more
bread.
adventurous
Oh my
with
gosh,
food.
I'm all over
He
that.
eats everything. Dorbin eats everything.
Dorfin eats everything. The offshoot.
Well, I
of
was just
it.
joking because he doesn't
Lobster,
like seafood in
yes.
real life. Like, Dayton doesn't like seafood.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
as a role play, that could be fun.
Oh,
Dorbin just
yeah.
eats everything. He just hoovers everything.
Hoover some schneef.
Ooh.
All right.
Like,
Not much else is going to go on tonight.
Yeah. I'm gonna eat. Get ready for the new day.
I know. Basically, that's what it's going to be.
Honestly, I know we usually like to dick around in the inn nice, but like...
I already tried. It didn't work.
Uh,
Too
You
much
try
going
to
on.
regale people. It's
yeah.
because you're not legitimate here.
I know.
Yeah.
So speak
It's
for
kind of
yourself.
expensive too. Just want to get my
You
fill from the
like to
end.
perform. He likes to legitimately dick around with Nori.
Please none of that while we share a giant room.
So you guys go to the room.
How does she feel about
You
that?
tuck in for the night and
The
sleep.
party bonobo.
So
Yeah.
the evening is over.
The next morning comes around. There's some breakfast downstairs if you want to partake, or if
Yeah.
you want to get going. You can do that too.
Absolutely, it's breakfast,
Yeah, we can eat
stuff on our faces, saying, "All right, what is it? Guild? What first? With the lore master or the guild adventures hall?"
The Adventurers Hall is on the way, so we should stop there first because it's just a matter of exchanging names and registration.
Let's do that then.
Plus, we can check the boards for any other quests that might, serve us well on our way.
Yeah, boy. On our way to the Grand Library.
Gotta hang out above me.
Just don't look at it.
That's gonna go.
You'll be fine. You got a hat on. It's not going to kill you.
Who's got the Netherese scrolls and such?
Probably you or
If you
Nori.
have it written down, you've got it.
All right.
I don't have it
Go with
written
that.
down. I have some letters that were handwritten, but we already figured out who they were
I was
from.
like, I have a scroll left, but I can't use it.
And I, for some reason, have held on to the letters that we already read.
We already used my Speak with the Dead one.
I wonder
Where do you
if
speak the
it's
dead?
gonna be
You
in
have
the
one more.
Grand.
Cause fear.
Yeah, and you can use that. That is a sorcerer spell.
Oh, I thought you said it was not.
I'm pretty sure it is. Oh, I have the book. Sorcerer spells.
Like that scene in Jaws where he crushes the can.
Yeah,
he crushes the styrofoam cup.
That's not a cup. I see that cup.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Maybe it is not.
I was pretty sure you looked it up and it was not.
What's weird is that it's I'm not seeing it on like the druid one either. I mean the
Wizard?
priest one either. I'm sure it's got to be a wizard one at some place.
What are you looking up?
Cause fear.
Cause fear? I know it's a wizard spell.
What's it actually called? Fear. It's just called fear.
Oh,
Now it's just called fear. Yes, it is a sorcerer spell.
nice.
It is a 3rd level sorcerer spell, so if you don't have access to it, you'll actually have to roll, and it may not go off for you.
But you're 3rd level.
No, he's 3rd level, but he doesn't have access to 3rd level spells. At 1st level, you get access to 1st level. At 2nd level, you get access to more 1st level. And at 3rd level, you get access to finally get 2nd level spells.
That's right.
So the progression is different.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
No, that makes
yeah.
sense. Makes sense.
Levels go to 20, but spell levels only go to 9.
Hmm.
Did you already buy breakfast?
No, I haven't yet.
Because Scorpio will.
Skorka is going to buy your breakfast.
Oh, thank you, Skorka. Is this Skorka here in the
His merchant is following you
Knight.
around.
Danny's
Sitting
caught
up.
it.
Oh, you see it?
Bandy. Get it, Bandy.
Get
it, Bandy.
She's like, that looks yummy.
She is not happy with it. She's one of the few dogs I've ever seen, and Eric brought this up, is that looks up and notices things above
I
her.
swear she looks like she has mascara on.
She's goth.
Yeah. I think she's more emo.
Goth Bandicoot.
Goth Bandicoot.
Goth Bandicoot. Gold eggs, they're large, like soft-boiled eggs in a nice little holder. You can cut off the top of them. Like they cut off the top, and then the center is like all golden and molten, and they give you a nice bread that you can dip into that and eat with the egg. So,
dang.
And little saucers of salt and pepper to sprinkle onto it. Fresh cracked pepper and sea salt.
The Tilted Night.
The Tilted Night.
It is in the North
Fine
Ward.
food.
All right, so onwards to the Adventurers Guild.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The librarian Otto von Dunn. I'm trying to see if I have any relevant notes. I don't know anything about this place. So, what's it look like when we were? I'm assuming we can find it. Is it like a grandiose building?
Yeah, the Adventurers Guild is like a mini keep. It probably used to be a barracks at some point in its life. And outside it just has flags, these banners, and some of them look tattered and worn and dirty until you realize that these are banners of adventuring companies, like the actual ones. Some of them probably got recovered from battlefields and things like that.
Oh my gosh, guys! Did you see this one that used to be part
of
both of us
like,
Bruce?
We don't have a flag yet. We need
we need a flag.
Yep.
Obviously, what colors do we got? Like orange and like white? I don't know.
The first time I ever
You're from Brooklyn.
Yeah, it's just,
I'm the fighter from Brooklyn.
What kind of colors are
guys?
guys?
This is how the people want
Like a burnt sienna, or like maybe like a blood orange,
like a harsh ochre.
It's pronounced ochre, you idiot.
So heading into this place, much like the other one, there's a couple posts in here that actually just have stuff hung right up on them, like the others. There's a couple guards around. They're all in their own gear. It seems they are not militia or not town guard. They're people
mercenary
that work for them. Adventurers Guild itself, probably old adventurers or what have you.
Your first adventure would be to guard this station.
Yeah, how horrible, right?
Yeah.
You just find on the bulletin board, guard duty on Thursday.
Yeah.
Where? Oh, here.
Well, to put my flag up.
Heading up to the desk, there is a dwarf there who has just as many lines in his face as he has hairs in his beard.
Behold the candle fang. Isaraka.
Isaraka.
Is that a 1? No, it's a 7. Still not very good.
He has got this knife out. He's got like this nice, like curved, looks like a whittling knife, but he's got a piece of stone in his hand, and he's just carving right into the stone with this knife.
Cool.
And it's like moving like it's clay almost against the knife. He's just sculpting with it. He looks up, puts it down, and it looks like he's carving a little bust of somebody. What can I do for you?
We are here to register Candlefang as an adventurer's group.
First time?
No, to expand it to the optional advertisements.
Well, they don't know us here, so we have to...
Well, you have the paperwork of the other place.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Form 11D.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Do you want to copy all the information over yourself, or do you want to pay for one of our scribes to do it?
Oh, I can do that.
He'll do it.
No
But he
problem.
likes writing. Yeah.
Hand you the form, so you copy it over this, blah, blah,
Do
blah.
I get to
come
use
back
your? Do I get your?
Yeah, there's like a little table
Your
off
ink.
to the side.
You use your ink.
A little table off to the side, and you get to go over there and copy everything over.
I just turn around on my arm. I'm like, no problem.
I inquire as to the build of his knife. Ooh, is it enchanted?
That's
Or
a
are you
door,
cutting
man.
stone?
We'll talk about it. Magical dagger.
Wait,
Cool.
wait,
The
were
stone
you born?
carver's dagger.
Ooh.
He got it, and he'll start regaling you with some dwarven adventure that he's been on.
Isarok, do you have any next of kin?
I'm allergic to shellfish.
Oh, you said you were an allegoric, selfish person.
So
Allergic to
the question arises: do you want to register this with all guilds, or just in Waterdeep?
I think the idea was to do that. I have 30
The
gold on my
all-
person.
The all guild.
All right, that'll be 20 gold.
All right. Well, there's 4 of us, so we can. It's 5 gold each, I think.
Mm-hmm. 5 gold.
Does he have to roll for math?
No, he got it. He nailed
I'm a
it.
sage.
Got it.
So he puts a stamp on it. He puts a seal on it. He puts it into a file, and he said he stands up
Put a seal on it.
and says, "I am
That's where I crossed the line. That was
Yeah, that was it.
I am Boric of the Stone Lords, and I welcome you, the Candlefang, to the Adventurers Guild."
What an honor. Boric, I say.
Shakes all your hands. He's
don't
got a
shake hands.
stone like that. I don't shake hands, Potch.
Wait, Master Borg, what would your position amongst the guild be? Are you a curator?
I'm just the guild master in Waterdeep, one of the 2.
Well, the master of one. Oh,
One of the
of 2 guilds. Where's the other guild? And
No, the 2 guild masters. We
Oh.
cycle out
let's see. Oh, it's an honor.
so that there's someone always, a guild master always on duty.
Well, point us in the direction of your help board. There's 2 of them.
Yep, there are 2 large poles, floor to ceiling, just tacked with bulletins and bills and all kinds of such.
Do we care to look at these, or do we want to move on?
You can take a look if you want, Master Borg. I'm sorry, Borg. What was your family name? Your surname?
He didn't say.
He didn't say.
He said,
I do ask it.
He said he's Bork of the Stone Lords.
The Stone Ones.
It's always horrible too. You're like, what was your last name? I didn't say.
Yeah, I didn't say.
My bad.
Guildmaster Borg. We will indeed take upon that. This was a pre-planned thing to while in Waterdeep to expand upon a contract. However, we are on a quest of our own design here to the Grand Library here in Waterdeep. Do you happen to know? Cassia Brasshinge, the lore master there?
Never heard of him.
Okay. Have
Don't
you
get
been
to the library much.
You don't get to the library much. Do you?
Eyes are not that great. As you see, like the exquisite detail work in his carving.
I see. Right. Do you at least know if the library is open to the public? Can we just go in, or do we need to be? We don't know. Okay.
Don't know.
Don't worry about it.
If it's public works,
Don't worry about it.
it probably takes money to get in.
All right.
I love it.
You head over to the board.
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff up there. Find my lost kitten. Rats in the basement.
Ooh.
Skip that one.
Yeah, right.
There's several for ships. Like almost like half of them are probably for ships looking for crew. Like adventure on the high seas, ha ha ha! Like yeah, you think you'd go there as some marine or guard, and you'd be press ganged right into bilge duty.
I think after he's bugged the dwarf about his last name for a minute or 2, I'd probably walk over and just say we might be better served looking for our own work back at the Tilted Knight. Now that we are officially adventurers,
How do we get a flag?
I guess
Yeah,
we
like,
can make one.
you start with a seamstress and find a dyer, and
We could just hoist one over on your walls.
no, those are
we
for
don't get to choose what goes up on the walls of the Adventurers Guild.
all that you see out on the walls. There are for adventuring companies that have fallen.
Oh,
Yeah, so
well.
don't put it up
I'm
there.
sure I'll have one soon.
Just the one that has a little candle on it. Well, let's head to the.
Head to the Grand Library.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
All right. Deeper into Castle Ward you go, closer to the castle itself, when you find the Grand Library. It is a massive stone work of granite building. It's got like the columns out front, the colonnades, and grand steps going up. Each step, which is about 20 feet wide, going up to the front, has inscriptions along them of famous quotes of sages and scholars throughout the years.
Dang, that's pretty impressive. I was going to ask, like, I was about to say, like, now, Dorbin and I here from Candlekeep, like, how does this grand library really look?
I mean, it's big, but your entire keep is a library. Like, it can't compare.
I look at it. I give Dorbin a look like, right?
You call this New Mexican food?
Okay.
I like the crab armor.
The crab armor? Crab armor.
Crab armor.
He gave Isarok crab
It
armor.
was crab armor. It has 19 defense, plus 2 constitution, and plus 5 agility when walking sideways. Crab walk.
The strength of these magical items.
This is actually pretty cool. Magic die set. You can put dirt in the pots, and it'll turn into ink of any color you want.
What? Yeah, I'll take it.
Only 50 gold.
Thank you, New Orc God.
Only 50 gold. So you move up into the Grand Library. As you walk in, it's a massive entryway. Marble floor. There's this large, like, font, and above the font, or floating above it, it looks like it's floating in water, is a stone, like big marble stone, and it's just got words inscripted all over it, and it's just slowly turning in the water.
What? Is it in reach? Can I touch it?
Yeah, you can touch it and start moving it.
Do you recognize the font or a scribe? Like, is it Comic Sans or Helvetica?
It's papyrus.
A font for water.
Hey.
And knowledge. There's some chairs and other stuff like that in here, but beyond that is a massive desk, or is it that little bastard? We need to get the fly swatter and get him down.
Need the rubber band gun.
Yes.
Oh, where is that thing?
He just had a stutter step like he was gonna fall. I'm like, dude, I'm ready. Like,
It's not got any rubber bands in it.
He's also
There's a fly swatter in the
He's got 6
kitchen.
Look, leave him alone. He's got 6 legs. The more damage you do, the more time it's going to take, and the more likely that it's going to fall on this table where all this
we gotta
stuff
kill him
is.
eventually.
Yeah, eventually. He's hanging out.
There's no rubber bands.
I'm here to
There's
kick
somewhere.
ass and shoot rubber bands, but I'm all out of rubber bands.
All
Alright.
So there's a huge, massive, like, desk, just a stone, like,
Yeah. Very pretty
long
library
desk.
sounds.
Oh yeah. And then there's 2 doors on either side. They go floor to ceiling and are sealed. So you have to go up to the desk and talk to someone there. Again, like, it's very long, and it looks like there's like 5 or 6, like a DMV style, like 5 or 6 different areas you could go to and talk to people. There is only one person there. It is an elf.
Oh.
It's a high elf, and she has a book open in front of her. Something is on her face. They have little glass orbs.
Looks like a job for Isra.
Give her the Easter rock, guys.
That's right. So I walk up and give her the old Easter rock. Natural 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you walk up. Hey! And she's like, shh.
I'll come up there with a gun.
good old
See,
truck.
shush this lady. Hey.
Grab that gun and put it somewhere else.
Is
Remember, the microphone is very sensitive now.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're slamming on the table.
So.
All right. So you seem to know who we're looking for and what we want anyway. So
I know.
I'll
approach.
I skulk away.
I'm terrible at this.
I start walking up, and if I make eye contact with this person, I'm like,
People are starting to call it the Easter rock pink eye.
She's like,
I was going to say, yes, I'm looking for Master
Brasshinge.
Lore Master Cassio Brasshinge. Thank you, Master Dorvin. This is Master Dorvin, Candlekeeper. I'm here as an assistant to his research. Is the Lore Master in?
You're about 100 years too late.
No.
Well, that's highly unfortunate. Well,
Shit.
does he have a successor?
Yes. There's always a lore master.
Well, that's good to know. It would be very disappointing for such a beautiful library to just go under like that. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Who would the Lore Master be? Hi, what's your name?
That's an
I'm
Isarok
sorry.
guy right
do you have
there.
an appointment?
We had an appointment with the adventurers. We are the Candle Fang. We are here on a most important question.
Adventurers.
That's right.
I'll push him aside. Can we make an appointment with the lore master or speak with him this day?
Are you a member of the library?
We are not, but these fine sages would care to join for sure.
All right. Down at the inn there is the membership desk.
More writing.
Good. Well, such as so were. It is a bit. Is there an expedited form, though? However, we
don't even know. We haven't even been to the registration desk.
Well, no, I trust me. You can ask Dorban. These things are tedious. We have come across these Netherese scrolls, and it's important that we get some translations for it. There's somebody using these things to
You'd just be like, "Bitch, we're cursed."
yeah, and also everything we
Sorry, are you
touch.
members
We gotta go
of the
join
library?
the library. Don't you want to join the library?
I was asking. We are not. I don't know. Is there?
The membership
This
desk
one's all you
is
now.
down
You
at
go over to the
Okay,
library
very
desk.
well. Thank you. I appreciate your dedication to the cataloging of. I go away and I start.
So
Joe
you head
Moses.
down to the
Yeah.
end of the.
Let's go
the
get the
counter.
library cards. Yeah.
Yeah, so you head down to the end of the card, and there's a little placard in front of brass placard that says membership,
Yeah.
and there's no one there. She's the only one at the entire long desk. She's at the
Yeah.
opposite side. So you go down there, and you're sitting there in front of this sign that says memberships, looking around.
Dwarven?
Like there's not paper like
Are there books within reach?
No.
Norman, could you try?
well, despite this current issue, does anyone find it weird that Brasshinge has, I guess, been dead for 100 years?
It does seem odd.
Well, who
That-
sent us to come talk to him?
Well, we've read something, right? One of the letters?
No, you talk to the sage, Sage
Uh,
Tidy. You talked to his dead body at least,
I did
No.
say, yeah.
and he said that that brass hinge in Waterdeep knew about it.
Gosh, I didn't think Tidy was dead
He said
that
knew,
long.
not knows.
Well, who sent us after Tidy, though?
The dead guy.
Ogma,
Oh,
both the dead guy and the priest of Ogma.
right.
Mm.
Alright, that makes a cool bit of weird sense, yeah.
So after you speak,
Oh, talk to the dead was a scroll.
Right.
wasn't it? Oh, so we
as
go
you
find
guys
him
are talking, like 5 minutes, the elf stands up, slowly meanders down, sits down in front of you guys, says, "So you're looking for memberships?"
Yes.
All right. She reaches down, pulls out a stack of paperwork, and the membership fee is 5 gold for a year.
Great!
For each person, or
Yes.
Ping! Go get it.
Do we need memberships to speak to the lore master? I'm as I'm filling this out.
You need memberships for all.
All functions
Access to the library.
Okay. Alright, well, I'll pay 5 gold.
run us by.
This is the Grand Library of Waterdeep, after all. All my gold's going away.
What happened to your ancient coins? I'm just kidding, it was only $10.
Scribble, scribble, scribble. Dip, dip, dip. Scratch, scratch, scratch.
She
Can you
takes
fill mine
them.
out?
No, I will not do your homework for you, Isarog.
Yeah,
I
she
can't-
takes them and goes through them like a fine-tooth comb. Any errors, any like misspellings, any crossings
Who's
out,
got the most errors out of the three of us?
she gives you like
Four of
another.
us.
She gives you another sheet and makes you like fill it all back out again if you fail at anything. So make intelligence checks.
God, good.
Natural 20.
You liar.
Swear to God.
Alright.
You did.
I did I got a 15.
I was in the East Rock, guys. So.
That's really long.
Natural 20 as well.
Why can't we do that in combat?
Really good at filling out paperwork.
Oh,
On top of that shit.
I
Maybe
know
the
my
candle
mother's
thing should-
maiden name like the back of my hand.
Nori, like you see Nori just holding the stuff and like looking at you guys.
Which is like everyone
Like she can
like,
write and all that
Like,
stuff, but she's not
do
the
you need
best.
something?
I was like, our candle thing should just be accountants.
We're an
Can you help
accounting
me out with
firm.
this?
The candle thing accounting firm. We'll take a bite out of your assets.
So you two, like, she can't find
We work for
anything
the county
wrong with
assessors.
yours. She sends yours back once. Nori, like, one of you two have to do hers for her.
How do you spell Nori?
N-O-R.
Usually with blood.
Yeah. With my hand. Like, no. Like,
With ink or whatever I have on hand. Sometimes I just draw it in the dirt. My finger. So, you guys all finish the paperwork, and she's like, all right, I'll be right back with these. And she goes down a couple desks and like starts going through them and stamping them and doing some other stuff to them.
I've met elves before. You seem to be pretty quick and easy for most elves I've met.
you just call me easy.
I mean, you're approachable.
I'm just kidding. Were you asking me to do something, or were you
No,
just
I'm fine.
You were just
How's
telling me
Nori's
that-
paperwork going?
Just wanted to talk about how he's met elves before.
Okay.
I
A
don't know.
gnome walks into the office area from the back
No
and
way.
walks up to the elf, and they start chatting
That was
quietly amongst each other, and she leaves the paperwork untouched
Can I hear
as
what
she's
they're
chatting.
talking about?
Roll
She didn't stamp or sign nothing?
she was in the midst of it all.
Sorry. 7 plus 10.
Throw my axe in
Yes,
the no.
those are very mean. What'd you
10.
get? You can't hear.
Yeah.
Just muffled.
I speak Gnomish and Elvish.
Would have been really handy if you could hear that then.
Roll for hearing. I fucking hearing.
Then the elf gets up and leaves the area, and the gnome sits down. And like your paperwork is sitting there, and she sits down and starts doing something different.
The gnome is a woman.
Yes.
He's the rock guy.
What happened?
Hey, girl. Hey, 13.
You walk up.
She likes the wink.
Can I help you?
I don't know, can you?
I don't know. I just asked. What can I help you with?
We need to speak with the lore master, and our membership paperwork is taking a while to file.
Oh, is that what this is?
It is. If you wouldn't mind taking a quick look at that and making an appointment for us to speak with the lore master, I would really appreciate it.
I don't know how long it is. The thing. She just went on break. She'll be back in an hour.
So we'll just go back into the back and talk to the lore master.
Are you member? Oh no, you're not members.
I don't know, are we? Reach over and grab her stamp. That charm a little bit, right? Yeah. Can I
Are
reach
you
for the stamp?
Ogmites here?
The stamps aren't on the counter or anything. So. What?
Are you Ogmites here?
No. I mean, we
Is this
certainly
a-
give
is this
him
a
praise.
temple
This
library?
is not a temple.
That's weird.
Is it?
No.
Fellows, it seems we're at an impasse with this place.
Hi.
Maybe
It's
we
me
should...
with the dark forces of bureaucracy.
Hey,
I'm Patty.
Go for it, dear Captain.
hello, Tabby.
charm. You, I'm sorry.
We don't have a charmer. She's already charmed.
Anyway, we can
Can you do something about this in the ceiling there?
get this. Daddy, have you seen your ceiling?
Have you dealt with your ceiling? Hey,
It's
Robert.
way up there.
Robert.
Yeah.
Up on top of the fridge, there's a ice water.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I appreciate you telling me that. You wanted this.
What are those tassels on your pants?
You should do something about those tassels.
Oh, my pants.
Those aren't shorts, those are Spanx, bud.
Those are shorts, man. Are we doing? Are we doing?
Yeah, do it quick while he's gone.
Well, hello, Taddy. Any way you think you could help us while the elf lady's on break?
What do you need?
She needs some tiny gnome dick. I don't know if it's tiny or not. I haven't seen a gnome dick. Sorry.
Ladle? Really? What are you doing? Well, I mean, if that paperwork there could go through, so we could become members
Yeah,
of the
do not do
library,
that with
that
a
would be quite helpful.
Super right down on you guys. There's no fly swat on top of that.
Can I break in with gnomish?
Actually, it might be in here now.
Don't worry, play him.
Did you drop my spoon?
Yeah.
Oh, I should.
Can't remember where we put it. Anyway. So, what did you say?
Oh, I said if you could make that paperwork go through so we can become members of this library, it'd be very helpful.
You said something about the lore master? Why are you here to see the lore master?
Don't mention the curse.
A curse?
I didn't say that.
We have some books we need translated, and we were told they would be the one to do such a thing for us.
Oh, yeah, translation. That's an expensive service.
So, how do we make it not an expensive service?
You pay the money that it costs, and then it doesn't cost anything after that.
I'll bust in gnomish because I can hear what they're saying. I'll be like, what my shy friend here is trying to say is that he's befuddled by your beauty. Perhaps for dinner this evening you could push our paperwork through and make us members this evening so that we might be able to expedite our necessities. Needs. Necessities.
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 Netheries.
Not netheries. At least our guy worked on hers.
Are we members?
Not yet.
No. There's some awkward
Dorbin's flexing his member right now.
Oh, is that right?
He's trying.
hitting on, sideways hitting on
Showing off your magic missile there?
your darts, your magic darts.
I call this needle.
She'll be right back to finish her paperwork.
Fantastic.
I still think we should go do something else for a while. Our paperwork.
I'll wait patiently with the little amount of interaction possible.
She's still just sitting there?
Uh-huh. Yeah, she's now going through other stuff, brewing tea or something.
Librarians.
What's your favorite book?
What happened to the initial charm I randomly had?
You blew it.
I didn't say anything stupid.
Do you have a favorite
Didn't say
subject
anything
in
good,
literature?
She asked what I needed done. I said what I needed done.
You told her business instead of pleasure.
I'd like to see my cool fire sword.
Yeah.
Do not bring that into the library.
No, watch. I start like putting my. It's
He licks it.
I know. I tested it earlier. Don't worry. Is that cool?
I regale
Have
her
you
with
seen
the
anything like
tales
that?
of the candle fang. I don't know. That's not very good.
Do you say that you're from Candlekeep?
Yeah.
I mean, you say you're starting to regale the tales of the Candle Fang, but you say like,
Well, of course it starts with Candlekeep.
Yeah.
okay. Oh, you guys are from Candlekeep?
Yeah.
Well, that's what
Oh,
I said.
everyone from Candlekeep has automatic membership at the Grand Library.
Oh, wonderful! Praise Ogma. All right.
Am I from Candlekeep?
You're not from, but
Yes, you
these
are.
two
You
are.
are today.
These two are, and they
Oh,
have the
that's
little
fantastic.
medallions to prove it.
May we
We'd
speak
like to
with the
see-
lore master.
Yeah, the master of lore.
I'm the gatekeeper. Are you the key master? Backwards. Say that backwards.
She hands you each little library cards.
Oh,
Put your
good.
paperwork away.
I have it bolted to my shield.
Library.
You have a Grand Library card.
Yeah.
She goes over to the side and hits a switch somewhere underneath the desk, and the tall floor-to-ceiling door swings open silently.
That wasn't very silent.
For a tall marble door, it's pretty silent.
Nobody likes something open silently.
I mean, those doors should just go like.
Yeah. So,
No, why are you scratching yourself? Look at that. It's like ready to fall on me.
I can do that all day. When they scratch, they're actually wiping germs off on top of you.
Oh, perfect.
Mostly animal feces.
I got the pee anyway.
Oh,
Good
that's
luck
not a
with
fridge.
It's not, it's
No,
not the
it's not.
fridge, that's correct.
if anyone wants to become a slayer of the ceiling
I
roach,
mean, it's gonna fall here, right here, so.
So wait till it gets back.
Just telling you.
whoa, buddy.
Couple practices.
And popcorn.
Pop like a confetti bottom halo.
Little more style.
Hey, extra experience for Isarak.
Good feeling crunch on the ball.
Nice. All right.
Take him outside so you don't wake up.
Oh boy. How you doing?
All right, how are you doing?
Fantastic, thanks.
Was that filled with vodka?
No, just water. It's been a week.
It's been a week.
Salt mines, you know.
Bandy. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? It's gone, Bandy. It's
You looking
gone.
for it?
Didn't you explode like that?
She's totally looking for it.
Yeah, she's really looking for it.
What's the point with it? What are you guys doing? Looking out for
Yeah, my
fun.
dandruff is bad.
Yeah, yeah. It's
That's what we did today.
So as you go through that marble door and you all come in, it shuts behind you. And there's another marble door in front of you, so you're now locked on this little side passage. And Taddy has you read the rules of the library, which are engraved on the next door. They're pretty standard stuff. You know, no
Okay.
disruptions, no this, don't steal
Running
books,
the
don't
halls.
blah blah
Don't
blah.
lick the books.
All right. So once you read all the rules, they open up that door and you can enter into the Grand Library.
Oh, let's do it.
The Grand Library is pretty impressive. I mean,
Yeah.
it is nice because it's
Yeah.
a place that's solely dedicated to the books.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
massive floors, carpets, long tables, just racks and racks and racks of books, 6 stories tall. It is impressive.
6 stories tall.
Yeah.
Woof.
A person that's also just like a librarian walks up to you. Like the other librarians, like Taddy and the elf were. This is a young dragonborn man.
Oh.
Thin, reddish scales. He comes forward. Says, "Welcome to the Grand Library of Waterdeep. Where can I direct you?"
I react horrifically
Try to
and scream at the side of this thing.
Nisarak. Hey, it's not too bad.
We are looking
What'd you
for...
13.
We're currently looking for the lore master.
It only works on guys.
We have business with the lore master. If we could...
Oh, you have an appointment with the lore master?
No.
He's
We
a
have
very
urgent
busy
business.
man.
Yes. I mean, aren't we all?
Yes. Yes, we are.
Are we?
We make an appointment for the next hour.
Did you make an appointment?
No, I would like to... Could we make one?
I'm sure.
It's literally the last thing we haven't tried is to make an appointment.
Yeah. We just start just slaying everybody on a bloody path on the way to the final lore
He
master.
takes you over to a desk, opens up this massive drawer where there's a big leather-bound like book. Like it's just a big floppy, pad of papers, and it's going through, and you see calendars and calendars and scripted in there. And it's like, let's see, about 2 months from now, I see an opening. What is it that you needed to see the lore master about?
We have a contagious curse that we're trying to get rid of.
Well,
I'm just kidding. I would say.
Well, I mean,
It might work.
I
Right?
might not omit that, but we are searching this mad cultist after Vel Sharu, and we've come across in our pursuit of this priestess of the god of necromancy, these Netherese scrolls, which we think might be of pretty vital importance to the sanctity of the realm around us. But the thing is that there are very few masters in Netherese, and the last master we knew was Cassia Braskinch, who we know to have passed 100 years ago, but we are hoping that his successors may know the language.
Roll charisma check.
Okay.
I guess we don't know for sure that he's dead. I mean, 100 years. He
That's
could
a
be
20.
An elf or something.
He's like,
really old.
as you're talking, like his eyes are like, he's a dragon, so it's like big golden eyes, like kind of wide, and his like mouth kind of like, he's like, "Are you adventurers?"
Oh, have you not heard of the Candlefag?
No.
Wow. You're going to.
I love it.
Wow, yeah, you should like
Start Power Ranger
Braskinch.
poses.
He was totally fascinated and a scholar of the Netherese culture. Yeah, he was all about. But sadly, he perished in the demonic uprising in Waterdeep. It was about 60, 70. God, it might even be like 100 years ago. I'm not really sure.
Demonic uprising, you say?
Yeah, it's weird though. You're the second person to ask for him.
Who was the first?
Some tiefling girl, I think.
Is he,
It wasn't by the name of Shota, was it?
I don't think I caught the name.
is the former lore master buried around here, perchance?
Yeah, he's in a crypt.
That's a
The
very
City
good
of the Dead.
question, Master Norman. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do with this corpse?
Well,
Stop the necromancer from
from
getting to
doing
it.
something new, yeah. We're going to
do anything
protect
with this
it.
corpse.
Nothing.
Because that death doesn't stop the necromancer.
Yeah, like, Dorman asked that, and just realization is like,
What?
oh, where are these crypts?
The City of the Dead.
I knew it! We all knew it!
You all knew it!
What are we even doing here? This is a silly quest.
We should just be going to every graveyard and just upturning every crypt we come.
Where are you? Fireworks.
So,
Yes, I visited his grave once.
could you find it again, do you think, if you saw it?
Yeah, I mean, I probably couldn't tell you how to get there. I don't go to the City of the Dead all much. It's kind of creepy. But I think I could lead you back there.
That'd be fantastic. Are you sure?
I'll lead us. I'm just kidding.
I'm the guy. Yes.
Seriously?
Would that be possible? That's solely what we came here for.
Actually, I have a little extra knife. You want to take this for protection?
I can't go now. I'm working.
Right. Well, we might need some
go
time ourselves too. We might want to procure some means of speaking to the dead. If that's a possibility. I mean, we're in Waterdeep. Like, it must be possible, right?
Can you speak with the dead?
Talking to
The librarian. No.
who can speak with the dead?
Well,
Isn't that a necromancer thing? Aren't they evil?
well,
You got a point.
I'm sure there's good ones.
Now, it's very interesting that you guys are going on this noble cause for translating the stuff. But remember, you're not looking to translate the book or the scrolls.
Well, we're trying to get rid
You're
of the
looking
curse.
to... first off, you're looking to get rid of the curse. But you're looking to stop this necromancer and also find the book itself.
Yeah.
So
I thought
the necromancer has the
these
book.
scrolls might be like a clue into this.
And actually, the scrolls you have are just scribbled, half-assed translations. So they already have the translations of what they're trying to read.
That would have been great to know in the recap days.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know, but that's what Tidy told you is like those are my like.
What are you
those are what I
expecting
can
us to
do.
retain knowledge
Yeah.
of this campaign?
No,
What are
you're here just to get the book, and the necromancer has the book, and the necromancer is going after a translator, and that translator is dead, and his corpse is in the.
But of course,
City
that
of
would
the
not
Dead.
stop her from seeking him out.
Right.
Right.
But you chasing that and and hopefully stopping her from getting that translation is what you're kind of.
Well, then I say, shift's over, son. You're coming with us to the.
That's what I say. Come with us anyway. What I would ask him though, hey, so since we came looking for Brass Angel originally, and we may or may not have been cursed and are looking for a way to lift that.
You know what the lift is, but
Oh, that's right.
I didn't like. You keep bringing up old shit, man.
I know. Sorry, my bad.
Like,
It's my turn to be.
you
wrong.
wonder why it took 3 weeks to get to the fireworks on 4th of July.
Here's the curse.
I gotcha. I remember the curse now.
Okay.
My bad.
Your task is to find the book.
No, I got it.
Yeah.
The book is in the possession of the necromancer. The necromancer is trying to find a translator. You're just chasing it. You don't need to have it translated.
Right.
You just probably at this point realize that it would be bad if the necromancer gets it translated.
Yes.
So should we make our way to the graveyard?
Absolutely. It might be too late already, but we should definitely get there as soon as possible.
Well, where are you guys staying? I'll come after work, and I'll take you there.
We're at the Tilted Night.
Yeah.
Look for the candle that looks like a fang.
Right.
We'll put it in the
Candle
window.
Or put it on your table.
That too.
That was the point.
I thought he'd like see.
He knows where the Tilted Night is, or if he doesn't, he's a sage in a library. You can find out.
You give him directions anyway.
Yeah. Well, write it down. You're on your own company here.
It's ink put on his hand.
Yeah. Excuse me. Wow, this really doesn't set well in the scales. Yeah.
Like, no, that doesn't work at
This
all.
isn't working.
That doesn't work at all.
It's just pooling in his dimensions.
Yeah. Just so, because I don't think you guys have actually ever seen a Dragonborn before.
Who's Rhoda?
I mean, everyone has. They're rare, but not uncommonly. But I'm saying, as players, you haven't. This is what you're talking to. So.
That's what the East Rock Eye worked on that guy.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
He doesn't have he's not as grizzled and have as many tendrils or anything like that. He's a younger looking dragonborn.
The body of a man,
Adventurers.
head and ego of a dragon.
So he he says he'll meet you there after
All right.
he gets off.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Should we do some scouting beforehand?
How long will that be?
He'll get off just before actually, says he gets off at the midday this or that. You don't know what their time clock is, but it sounds like it'll be at least like a couple hours before sundown.
The day sounds alright. Gosh, I almost wanted to see if we could find it on our own in the meantime, but if we start splitting things up, it's not going to be good.
And the City of the Dead is a massive graveyard.
Yeah.
Well, if you want, though, if we have some time, we can stop back by the Adventurers Guild.
I almost want to find a priest.
There was too much. It's all fishing, boating.
Do you
that
think
kind
we
of stuff.
can?
There wasn't much of note. That's what I was saying. It'd be easier if we just went back to the inn and just posted there as adventurers.
Do you think it'd be worthwhile while we're waiting for this guy's shift to end to find to go to the City of Dead and find a cleric that works there?
I can't believe we're standing in the library and you guys aren't curious about looking at any of the books.
I mean, I'm absolutely curious, but I could spend. I mean, I'm probably going to once we find the book, just come back here and just.
Did you say you actually have scrolls of Netherese?
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Well, they're kind of mistranslations, but
yeah, they're pretty cool, man.
Yeah, would you like to see one?
Sure.
Look at
All right, Lynn, come on.
Read this shit. Read this shit.
No, I'm sorry. Well, no, wait, I'm not lawful good. Come on. No,
I can't. I mean, you don't have them with you?
Yeah, I got it with me. Would you like to look at them while you're waiting for your shit to be over? What do you think? What?
Try to drink like a drop of water out of
It's
You gotta tap it.
Thank you.
They are level 3 at the moment.
Oh, yes. our orc benefactor.
No, this is
this is
Soulful
sick.
Games. Welcome, Soulful Games.
Oh, Soulful Games. Hey, that's where we're being hosted. Gosh, did we get hosted and immediately just like start drifting away after a cockroach on the ceiling?
Yeah,
Yep.
drifting away
that's
and
classy.
getting tied in bureaucracy with unwilling librarians. So do you pull out the scrolls and stuff you have?
Yeah, I show him.
And like, wow, and he like looks over. Anything you talk about adventuring, he is super excited for.
Oh, man.
And like, especially if you pull out like, the correspondence letters of everybody
Show
and
him
all
the
that kind of
cursed skull.
stuff.
Like,
It's in his bag, I think.
Yeah, I'm holding it because you guys couldn't sell it.
Show him his magic shield I got.
You can try to sell it.
Do you show him like, besides the scrolls, do you show him any of the other stuff you have, all the paperwork? I mean, you have a lot of correspondence and writing.
I still have the letters
It's not
for some
bad,
reason
yeah,
for
actually.
Shoto Wizen, so we should let him see those.
So he's like eating this up.
Yeah,
He reminds you a lot
following this
of
paper
you,
trail.
but like he's fawning over you as the adventurers, like
It
ooh,
feels
a
pretty good.
mystery and all this stuff. And
Yeah.
like you're adventurers, and he's talking like other scholars, you know, like the other sages and librarians. There, he's like, take a look at this, like blah blah blah.
There's one time we killed 4 zombies.
They start musing.
We did do that.
They start musing on what SK might mean.
I was just gonna break out the STK. All that stuff.
That elf is walking back from her break,
Yeah.
and she like sees you back here and just kind of like scoffs, and like she stops by and looks down, and she's like, "SK with a key,
Right.
secret keeper."
Secret keeper key. Maybe
I mean, that's where you would lock secrets away, wouldn't you?
a secret keeper. Is that some sort of device that you know of? A secret keeper, like where you trap secrets, keep them. Kind of trapper keeper.
Secret keeper.
It might be a pen name.
Yeah.
Top secrets.
Well, I appreciate the observation. Anyway, this young lad was fawning over our exploits.
Anyway,
I'm sure. And she walks on.
Yeah.
I'm about to cast Mage Armor just so you can roll the wild die and I can hopefully turn her into a
Let's see what the
plant.
follow button. It doesn't do a whole lot. It just follows me. I don't have any cool like animations or anything yet. I need to do that.
People like, yeah,
What's this follow button do?
Yeah.
Just you're now following.
Do people put stuff
Not
on their
exactly
follow buttons?
expecting anybody.
People do
to
like
show any
animations
sort of,
and things like that.
It's just, oh yeah.
Or should
I need to.
It should always be a graphic of
What-
Jeff Goldblum.
It's just Dick, son of a bitch. Got a drink.
Gossamer up the old stream there.
I don't know if you guys can. I don't know if you guys can post GIFs or pictures and all that in the chat, but if you have that ability and you just wanted to spam the chat with Jeff Goldblum pictures, that'd be fantastic.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Have you heard about Dayton's life bet?
Or his life game.
Life. It's a game for the rest of his life.
What's the game for the rest of your
Every
life?
time that Dayton sees an image of Jeff Goldblum, he must take a drink.
Well, that sounds like a
Regardless of whether he's at work or something else. Like, so you'll see in the
He
Discord
just
every
woke
so
up.
often.
Why is Jeff Goldblum?
I don't know.
It came about on July 4th, actually, watching Independence Day.
Oh,
You made a Jeff Goldblum drinking
Yeah.
game and it just became your life. You're like, this
Yeah.
is my life now.
We're
That's
just
why you
like,
see, like in our messengers, it was always a Jeff Goldblum picture shows up every so often, or Courtney
Yeah.
Butts, and then so pop into Discord every so often because if he sees it, he's got
at the
a picture.
time, it was like really like Jeff Goldblum's career
So
was
rare,
kind of.
Yeah.
Now he's
Now
back,
suddenly he's
baby.
negative
Yeah,
surgery.
yeah.
They're putting a statue
Oh,
of him
man.
up in.
Do you know
England.
he was in a Marvel movie with like
Yeah, Ragnarok.
Yeah.
yeah. Do you guys see that Ragnarok movie?
Yeah,
It's like with
he's
the
in a whole bunch of
superheroes.
Portlandia episodes.
Yeah, I love him in the Portlandia with the. Anyway, what are we?
So you guys let him fawn over you. He looks at all the stuff. Like he even pulls out some scrap notes himself and like takes some notes. He's like, I'll see. Like while I'm here, I'll do some research on my own and see what I can find out. And
Oh,
blah
yeah.
blah blah.
Oh, I mentioned for physical acuity, just like I started telling him some cool some books from monks. Physical exercises helped me. I was a scrawny little. Well, I wasn't a dragon man, but anyway.
So you guys heading back to the inn?
Let's head back to the inn till we're done, yeah.
All right, you head back to the inn. You're back at the inn.
We'll set up the candle fang.
Get
Get some ales.
some ales. Get some afternoon luncheon.
Mimosas and
Moses. I think at this point, like, I think bubbled drinks would be weird.
It
We
would-
never had it.
yeah.
You imagine like having a
They wouldn't
soda
be
for the
cold
first time in
either.
20 I know, right? A hot Dr. Pepper.
hot Dr. Pepper.
The steaming Dr. Pepper. They used to serve that at football games.
I tried it.
Yeah.
I didn't care for it.
So
In case you remember.
So good.
the afternoon fare is sliced thin smoked fish that is put on to some nice chewy bread with some other accoutrements.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's bagel with lox, essentially.
Okay. Some cream cheese.
Capers, some cheese of some variety, spreadable cheese.
What is a caper?
Caper is a salty little.
Is it a
It's almost like
legume?
it looks like a pea, but it tastes like an olive. It's about that big. It is a legume. It's like a bean, basically.
Yeah.
They pickle them.
Oh, that's why it tastes
super-
it tastes like a green olive then.
Very much so.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's kind of like adding salt to your lox and cream cheese and stuff like that. They
okay.
actually go pretty well together.
I really like
Capers are super overpowering though. Like you've got to have like if whatever you add it to, that's the main flavor
Yeah.
now.
You can get them into pasta and some
It's
pasta
true.
dishes.
If you kind of throw a couple in there, but I don't know. I feel like every time I see a caper, I can taste it from about 10 feet away.
I think we're having this conversation while we're shoving
Yep.
fish in our mouth.
Like you're just eating your
What is a
Yeah.
caper?
lox and bagel, and
This is a
there's
caper.
capers and things you can smear on there. And
Yeah.
all right, there's not. The inn is busy. It has some people in it. You're the only seemingly adventurous type, but there's some like nicely dressed folk in here, eating, doing their normal stuff, plus the kind of normal day looking laborers and things like that.
The waitress comes by. She's like, "Don't burn the table."
You don't care what you're
Get
getting
those
on.
capers out of there, sir.
Throwing
bring your
capers
own?
throwing capers into the candle thing.
So you cannot bring your own capers to this establishment. Yeah, I guess we're waiting the day away. Waiting for this guy to get off his bullshit day job shift.
Hoping maybe someone will give us some other job to do as well, so we can make some money. Correct.
That was the idea.
That's the
So-
whole point of putting out a.
Put out the candle. There's no musician or anything, so if you want to try to regale, you can.
I'm always ready to regale.
I'll be his hype man.
Fuck me, man. 9.
9.
Not that man.
All right. So you start talking, and some people have interest. Most people don't.
At least I keep wasting my bad rolls on like bullshit. It's not in combat.
That's the point. You got D&D. Just try the as much bullshit as you can, because if it fails, it's I was just doing bullshit. But if it succeeds incredibly, it's like, oh, hey.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of opportunity for adventuring work here, so you're pretty much gonna spend the rest of your time
All
eating
right.
and drinking.
Let's have.
It's not that long after midday, like the last bell of labor or whatever it is. Essentially, quitting time for most people.
God, I wish I could work at noon.
And midday is not noon. It's 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Okay.
The day, not
Right.
not middle of the day, but midday after the day.
Mm.
So it's not morning
day.
anymore. It's day, and it's not night. It's between day and it's between noon and night.
Yeah. All right, I get you.
Midday.
So we go. We wait till that time.
You wait till that time, and then he walks in. He's not in it. He's out of breath.
That's pretty good.
He is out of breath. He is not in his librarian's robes anymore. He's in regular clothing.
Oh, so hoping he come in with like patchwork armor, like he made himself in his home, in his dormitory, in the library. All right.
It's like quilted armor.
Yeah.
But it's actually quilts.
Yeah,
poncho. Yeah.
Studded with empty ink vials. All right.
He's got a cloak that is way too shiny and shimmery and expensive looking, but he probably thinks it makes him look like a badass rogue or something like that.
Right, yeah. You're gonna go 5. This business, kid. All right. Let's get this guy killed. All right.
Yeah, let's totally get this kid killed.
So, hey, toss him a knife.
It sticks into his chest.
Should I roll for that throw?
No.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let you kill the NPC this
I know, right?
Like, it'd be like, here!
I'll give him.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
well,
would've
now
been-
you're
that
not
would've
finding the
been- that would've
grave.
been- That would have been a shaky toss. For
I have
me.
my old shield. I'll hand him the shield too?
Do you want to give him that?
You still holding
Like
your
your shield?
I'll tell him, like, I'll need this back. This was my father's shield that he gave to me. But
Don't give him
but
that. Yeah, that's
I mean, now you're making him
Give it
think
to
like
him.
he's gonna fight. Like, all you want him to do
I
is
just-
say, there's the grave.
I just want to
And you
make
could
sure
go,
he's
go
protected.
home, go home.
Yeah, he's just becoming our new guide real quick.
It's a new NPC. Nobody's gonna die, and you're gonna replace with this guy. All right.
So, you're...
All right. Give back the shield. You're not holding it right. All right. You're never gonna make it in this business, kid. All right. Yeah. Can
He's
you
like,
show
all
us
right,
the way?
let's go.
Yeah.
He's like walking with his knife.
He like doesn't really know where to put it, and finally he puts it down in his boot. But he like it keeps like wiggling out, so every once in a while he has to like push it back down into the boot. So he like hurriedly.
Yeah, we know. She's coming to tell us Eric's home.
Eric's home. The other human is home.
Yeah.
So he takes you to the like straight south of the castle, or not the castle, or the North Ward, to an entrance to the City of the Dead. The doors are open. There's guards at the doors. When you pass through, they say, "Only 4 bells left. 4 bells
So what?
till we close up."
And then what? What if we're still in
Why do
here?
you have to react to everything that passes by? Like every time I would say, like, "Hey, do you want to buy this?" And you're like, "Where is it from? What does it do?" Like a guy's telling you, got 4
Sorry for
hours.
being interested
4
in the-
hours
in
before
the-
they
in
close
the
up the park.
Fascinating. I mean, are we going to be like locked in here? Is it going to
Yes,
be like?
you will be.
Okay, well, that's all I wanted to know.
All right, so let's.
Sorry for taking an
What is
interest in
this?
the world, this wonderful creative
What is this
For-
guy's name?
imagosphere you're building here.
What's his name again?
Fasseth.
Fathus, lead us to the grave, please. We have not much time.
Fassa?
Fasseth. Fasyth. Fasseth.
Right.
This is the guy here?
No, that's the Dragonborn.
Oh,
The guy fawning over you
We
never
literally-
asked
we
his
literally-
name.
I wrote it
But
down.
you will ask a guard, like, what does 4 bells mean? Like, Do I have to spell it out?
No, I was just saying, like, what happens if we're not out by then?
They close the door.
Which is good technical information. I wrote this guy's name is
And
Red
you-
Shirt.
and
What
you'll
is it
be-
called?
You'll be
Facet,
trespassing.
F-A-S-Y-T-H. Red shirt. He kind of is, right?
Yeah, red
Star
shirt.
Trek red shirt.
The City of the Dead is
Give us a loan for college.
a massive, almost like a park. It is the only place that it's legal to bury bodies in Waterdeep. But it's also got wide open grassland, like fountains and statues and places to rest throughout the day. So it is used as a park by a lot of people as they come and visit their ancestors and folk and give honor to those that have come before. So he comes in and he's like, yeah, like telling you all about the place and this and that, and gets lost like almost immediately because he's never come in from this gate. So he kind of wanders around for like a bell. You hear like in the distance, and it's pretty grand. Like there's crypts and statues and headstones and all this kind of amazing stuff. But you guys have spent way too much time in cemeteries where things are trying to kill you for you to feel really comfortable at home. But you see families out here and people running around. You're like, get out of here, run! Don't you know the dead are right there? But it isn't too long before he sees something that he remembers, a landmark. He's like, oh, now I know where we are. And he starts heading purposefully down some pathways until he gets to an area. It seems just like any of the other areas. And he says, Brash Hinge should be up there. You go up this path and there'll be a crypt. It's where the brass hinges are. You'll see his name.
It's a family tomb, you suspect?
I don't think he had any family here, but he was a lore master, so they did honor him with his own spot. And this is for public servants of the Lords of Waterdeep.
Is this where we parting ways? Can you not go any further?
Do you want me to?
I mean, that was his job. We don't need this kid killed.
That's true. We do want somebody to live to tell our tale. Alright, well, thank you very much, Fastfell.
Keep the knife in commemoration of your first adventure.
So he's like, well, thank you. And as he's running off, you see that it's been wiggling out and he's been pushing it down, that it's actually cutting his boot open. And he goes running off, as happy as can be that he helped you adventurers.
Man.
There's a winding path up to a Nolly Hill that's bespeckled with graves and several large stones, and then there's like 4 mausoleums, like 4 crypt entrances up there. That's what it seems. And you heading up there?
Yeah.
So you head up there, and it has a bunch of names all over the place. The crypts have a bunch of different names, so it looks like people that didn't have family crypts, but prominent enough to be buried in a crypt, or warranted that kind of honor, were put in here. Most of them have lord or lady or some other title in front of their name. The first 3 crypts you go to don't have Brass Hinge anywhere in there, but as you go up to the 4th, and no one's up here. There's like, this is kind of a little secluded knoll. You pass by a little wedge of open area where there's just gravestones, and you see someone kneeling in front of a gravestone. They're in a cloak, pretty heavy cloak and hood, with the hood down, and their back is facing you, but they're standing in front of a grave.
Backstab.
The crypt is like, as you're going by, you're just going down the path, like they're over here, the crypt is over here, so like you wouldn't cross paths with them, but this is the first person you've seen up here.
Right.
And you continue on where you do see his name listed on the plaques outside.
Oh.
The plaques as in other members of the family, possibly?
No. So, like I said, these aren't for a specific family. These are for people that warranted this level of...
But you said multiple plaques, like his name is like on...
Correct. Like, so you're outside of mausoleum, and it's telling you everyone that's buried inside. It has their names on plaques. and his name is on one of the plaques.
Oh, I thought you were saying his name was on the plaques. Like I thought you meant like there were multiple plaques
No.
that said
It's
Bronze.
Lord
sorry.
this and
Gotcha.
you know,
Okay.
Dock Master that and blah 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 this and Paymaster that and Lore Master Caster Brassenge
Caster Blanche
Bladgeragen.
Caster Blanche. Yeah.
So this is the crypt where he is buried, you think?
All right. Well, let's defile this sacred burial place for the hopes that we might.
Well, I think what we ought to do is search to see if anyone else has been here, if there's been any damage to the crypt, if
yeah.
someone's searched through it.
Investigation.
Well, let's see if there's recent
21.
footsteps.
Oh,
Oh,
Good
come on.
throw.
I like hit these dice and it threw my toss off.
Well,
Then I overcompensated and threw it too.
Robert, don't fall asleep, Robert.
what?
investigate.
Roll
Oh, investigate.
investigation. We're almost there. We're almost at the
We're almost.
19.
Hey, and I'm a smart guy. It doesn't have investigation, but I'll take a +2 for 21. Robbie Raggy.
21. Yes, this crypt has been recently visited. You see that there's a gate on it. It's locked. But it is not locked at the moment. It is open and just sitting against its door hinge. So the lock has been opened in some way or by some means and is just holding it shut.
Can I tell by looking at the lock whether it was picked or open?
It's been picked.
It's been picked. Okay, cool. So someone snuck in here. We'll skinny that. So let's be on our guard.
So I have access to that sort of.
You open the gate and start heading into the crypt. The crypt itself is just a causeway or an entryway down. There's immediately, you walk in, there's two statues of, angelic looking figures that are like holding books, looking down on a stairway that goes into the crypt proper. So really it's up on this hill and all you're doing is walking into it and going straight down where the bodies would be interred.
Right.
You head down the stairs and you notice. You don't have to, you notice it's already because you're 21. So the walls are, pretty dusty and dingy and that kind of stuff. But smeared into the wall as you're heading down is a thieves' cant mark.
What does it say?
It's a warning and a tag. So it's like you'd normally see this by people like putting up something as like a trap or a stakeout.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, there's someone going to be watching this place, or this place is being watched. But then there's a personal tag after it. You're not familiar with it, but if you don't have to write it down, you'll remember it. But if you show it off, you might be able to find someone who knows who this is, or if it's a Thieves Guild mark. But you might be able to follow up on that later.
And by trap, you mean that people are keeping an eye on the place, not that there are traps
Yeah,
around.
it's not that it's like ambush or something like that. It's that this place is watched or dangerous in some way.
Okay.
It's not like you're walking into a trap. It's this place is dangerous or is not safe,
Right.
in some way.
Gotcha. I'll skinny that to again be on our alarm.
Do you skinny how you know that?
Yeah. Do it.
No. I think I would probably...
You just give a vague warning.
Yeah.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Get more water. Oh, okay.
Like 15 minutes left. Come on, suck it up.
I'm just trying to.
You're almost done.
We're done.
It's been a week.
All right. So you keep heading down?
Mm-hmm.
All right. There are like multiple rooms in this. Most of them have like the sarcophagus is in the sides, so they're not open sarcophagus. They're not like old. They're big closed stone slabs with plate of who it was in there, and most of these have stone inscriptions in them about who the man was, or quotes, or whoever the people are inside. They seem like you don't know how they get these stone blocks in there to whatever on the sides, but none of them look disturbed or messed with until you get about to the third room, and there's one on the ground that's smashed.
Ugh.
Go check it out.
You have to bring your own light down here. There are sconces for torches. Like they have oil, essentially soaked oil balls in sconces that you can light along the way if you wanted, or you can just keep your own light on you.
Oh, you'll light on me.
You got your
So,
sword.
Yeah.
'cause
Also, this guy was selected by the Lord's Council. Are these? Is this like a noble's crypt? Are they? Am I seeing that sort of iconography
So
here?
this is where people that are nobility
Yeah.
or worked for the places.
I know they work for the
so-
place, but are there like specific like crests and stuff like that? You don't have to like
A couple,
Yeah. Okay.
But these are people that don't have family here. So this isn't a family crypt, but this is a place where
Yeah. I figured like.
leaders, top people, famous people, you know,
Right.
whatever would
Oh,
be.
so okay.
like,
So of course there would be.
Hey,
stuff like that,
the head of the Adventurers Guild passed away.
yeah. Right.
They don't have any will or anything to come. No one's coming and get the body. So let's find a place in one of the
You've
Lords of
explained
Waterdeep's
that earlier.
crypt.
I'm
It's the
sorry.
nicest
we'll
way
bring
to
it in.
deter foreigners, basically.
Right. Or just people that don't have roots or other wishes,
Mm-hmm.
but warrant a place of stature.
But this place is. But there's one here. We found broken one. Is the plate there?
So the whole seal of it, like think of like these drawers, but massive stone ones, and that front has been pulled out and is smashed on the ground.
Like you said, is the plate still
It's
present?
somewhere down there, probably in the stone.
Let's go check it out.
Want me to pick through it or?
You walk up. You want to look in the actual
Yeah, I'll look
intermentary itself.
inside the actual coffin thing, whatever.
It's empty.
Oh. Oh, that's not good.
And as you pick through the pieces, you find the plate and you flip it over, and of course it says Lore Master Caster Brass Hinge.
How long ago does it look like this happened? Like, is the damage recent? Or is it
There's a
dust on
little
top
bit of
it?
dust on it, but nothing's really settled. You're thinking a couple of days.
Does
Did
it look like it?
Did this person just steal a skeleton, guys?
Maybe.
Now,
Am I able to tell how long ago that cantrip was written?
it hasn't, like, it was kind of smudged into the dirt, and the dirt hasn't, like, there was more dirt coming over it. So again, a couple days maybe.
Okay, cool.
One thing of note, and Nori points this out, is that, like, there was nothing in this crypt. There's no shroud. There's no anything. There's no like pieces left, or lint. Like she's like, this is an empty crypt. Like, unless they took the body and then cleaned it, there was nothing in here.
Right.
It was empty to begin with. Yeah.
And she's like,
Let's smash.
We
all
already-
the evidence.
like we already know that this necromancer doesn't care about the dead she raises, because there was stuff left in that one crypt that she had her bed on. So it's very odd. There's a chill in the air comes in. Everyone notices it but you, because you're warm.
Right.
A chill in the air, and there's a figure now standing in the doorway where you have come in from. Long black robes. Through her cloak, or looks like a feminine form, you see a key hanging around her neck.
That has no significance.
No significance at all.
I lock in.
A silky voice emits from the depths of the cloak.
Let's hear your silky voice.
Ah!
Let's hear it.
So back to burlap and some rough silk.
Looking
Yeah.
for someone?
We all hearing this? Or?
Yeah, she's talking to us directly.
Yeah.
Easter Rock. Just kidding.
She doesn't care.
We looking for
We were looking for Brass Hinge,
Jesus.
but it looks like you might be looking for him as well.
Oh, I might have an interest. But he's not here, as you can see.
Did somebody come in and did file his resting place and take his remains out of here?
Well, his remains aren't here, but he was not defiled. He was moved long ago.
Who are you?
Yeah.
No point.
I think we're going to cut here.
All right.
As you're talking to the mysterious key holder in the crypt about a missing brass hinge.
It's a very big door theme in this key holder, I guess.
Perhaps she's a secret keeper.
She could be a secret keeper, or the secret keeper. She is not Shoto. She is not a tiefling. You
I
don't
think I get a very Shoto feel from her, which probably would have been the perfect disguise.
Oh yeah, she disguised herself as Show Wisdom. Yeah.
All right, well, take us out there, Mitch.
Thanks for watching. This is Wileyverse, right?
Yeah.
Wileyverse D&D. We play every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Arizona Mountain Time. We'll be back next week with thrilling next edition of what we've been playing so far. So we'll see you guys then. Thanks for hosting us, and thanks for
Yeah,
showing up
that's
there.
awesome.
It's good to have some people watching and hanging out with us. So we'll see you next week.